Hello, 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 hello. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Bang on time, which is good for like to see. I thought we'd be running a little bit late today. Can you all hear me okay? And let me know if there's an echo. I'm not going to be using my hello, what happened there? I'm not going to be using my big mic today because last time it caused a few issues. I need to sort it out. So I may try and plug it in a bit later on. But let us know if there's any sound issues or anything along that line. That'd be cool. Let me just get my YouTube up and running at the same time. That is there. Let's pause that. Sounds all right, Mick. Hi, Mick. How you doing, Mick? Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. Good, 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 good. I've got the old heating on. I'm just going to turn it up a smidge. Just to warm the old shed through. Just had an absolute banging Chinese, which was absolutely fantastic. Was a little bit later than normal. I wasn't trying to do it for 6, but because Mrs. P and I have been busy all day, decided we'd have a takeaway tonight and give us all a bit of a break from cooking. So we did that. Hiya, Benedict. How are you doing? Hiya, Tina. Hiya, Mad Kiwi. How are you doing? Good day, buddy. Gary Butler's in the house. JJ's. Evening, Mr. Stubbington. Chinese. Yeah, it was. Keith Miller. How you doing? Nice to see you. Ellen, how you doing? Jason. Dorito's in the house as well. Hammy Hutton's in the house. That's cool. 38 in the room. Absolutely brilliant. I'll start at the top of a chat. If I can find my cursor, that'd be good. And I just want to run through, make sure I haven't missed anybody. If any of you that can, if you can share the stream out on your community tab, that'd be cool. Thumbs up on your way in and thumbs up on your way out, or if not, thumbs down and thumbs down. Either. I don't really mind. But let's get this thing up and running. Pete Frauber's first in the house. How you doing, Pete? Nice to see you. Stefan, how are you doing? Fun thing to do with tech. Hope you're doing cool. AJP, he popped on in. Techie Boy, Tina, Dirt Riders in the house. Paul Edwards, I see he came in and then started saying a few things about haggis or something I saw whilst I was eating my Chinese. Trolls already haven't even started yet. Yeah, that was that Paul. It's just to do with haggis, and apparently, it's local knowledge. He's got caught on the 3rd of March or something. Not really interested. None of my business. So don't go shouting it on my platform, Paul. Go and find someone else to speak your mouth. Not interested in it. Not my business. Therefore, nothing to do with me. David Young's in there. How you doing? But this live stream is boring. Oh, thank you very much. My first Saturday night one, and you're just going to slate me just like that. Cheers for that, buddy. M and J's in here. Kiwi's already said hello. Raphael, how you doing, buddy boy? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Breeze's Bike Shop's in as well. I'm getting there. You lot all sound low as you go, so I'm just trying to catch up. I don't want to miss no one out because you take the time to come and see me. So I'll take the time to come and see you. These are guys in the chat as well. Who else we got in here? There's a Mad Kiwi I've said hello to. Max is in the house as well. Nice to see you. Ian, I've changed my name. How you doing? Andy and Gary Butler. Then we're getting down to where I was before. Benedict, Matt Stubbington. Yeah, Doritos. Snobby, how you doing, buddy boy? Nice to see you. 46 in the house. Colin K. Hi, Mick. How are you? I'm not too bad. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you, buddy boy. Doing good. Thank you, buddy boy. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a mad couple of days, to be fair. I've had quite a bit on and not a lot of time to do it. So today we spent most of the day. What I'm going to do is this new structure of Micks Mowers is going to progress as we move on. Hiya, Ali. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you, buddy. Hammy Hunter, how are you? Mick, did your old van partiality? I'll get to that. Slow the pace down. Don't go asking for a ticket for the bingo. It ain't going to happen. So what I want to do is for the first 15 minutes or so, just want to chat and tell you how my week's gone, tell you what I've been up to. And then after that, link will be thrown out and then we can get down with it and get yakking with each other, see how your week's gone. How you doing, Rob McGrill? Nice to see you. And yeah, so it will be more structured going forward. But today is a bit off the hip because I have been busy. So my day started off not too bad. Mrs. P wanted all the decorations down, so it's been all hands to the pump. All the kids disappeared out the blinking way. Ian says, I got my mug and sticker. You're welcome, buddy boy. You're welcome. So yeah, she wanted the decorations down. The kids all scarpered, which just left me to it. So I ended up taking the tree down, decorations down, inside and outside. Riley's been not too bad. Just gone to bed, which is cool. This is why I've changed the stream over, which I'll explain in a bit. So yeah, that's all done. Quick sip of my old slurp. But because my brother-in-law had a heart attack just before Christmas, which is now fully recovered, but now he's on like recovery. He can't do anything which sort of exerts the arms into like hanging out the washing or this sort of movement, you know. Not allowed to do it. So I had to go around there today. And hi, Barb, how you doing? Had to go around there and give him a hand, take his stuff down. And then tomorrow I've got to nip down my mum's house because my old man's knocking on. He can get up the ladder to do it, but mum just don't want him up there. So I'll go down mum's tomorrow, take her lights down, and then I'll have to go and pick up a lawnmower tomorrow, a free lawnmower, which would be cool. So that was my day today, and as I say, literally, it's all up in the loft, all the stuff, all been done and put away. Shut the hatch up, picked Josh up from work, and Mrs. P said, stuff it, let's get a Chinese. So that's what we did. So tonight I had special smoked chicken, Kong Poo spicy pork with a side order of ribs in spicy chili salt, which was quite nice. I like my stuff kind of spicy, but not too hot. So that was kind of cool. That's what I had. Riley boy had prawn kaka and foodle, as he calls it, which is prawn crackers and chicken chow mein. That's what he likes. Oliver, how you doing? Nice to see you. You like the new shed? Yeah, the new shed is rocking and rolling. I'm quite happy with it. It's quite big now. 10 foot by 20 foot. As you can see, all the other mowers are now out. I've got a lot more space. The other mowers have gone into the old Micks Mowers store out the way. Hi, Pete. Wonder if Roy's still got... Hi, Pete. Wonder if Roy's still at Jez's house. Laugh at that. I don't know what that is. 10 base, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy boy. What's up? Don't forget to share the stream out if you can. You're a chicken lemon, are you? Oh, yeah. Not for me, bud. Not for me. Oh, my God. Making me want to reach for the local Chinese menu. Get it done, Matt. Get it done. How's little Riley boy doing, Matt? How's he doing? Hope he's okay. So that was that. That was my day. Yeah, as you know, some of you guys and girls know that my MOT, Trash, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Not seen you for a while, actually. So the old Micks Mowers van was at the MOT. Now, hands up, I'm going to admit it, okay? My MOT ran out in June. So did Mrs. P's car. Mrs. P's ran out on the 15th, mine ran out on the 14th of June, and we've been running around for 6 months with no MOT. Completely hands up, and yeah, my bad. I thought they were due in January the 2nd or 3rd, which is when I seem to remember MOT in it, but it wasn't. That was a year previous, and I then got it moved. So Riley's doing okay, few tears, but okay. Thank you very well. I hope you're doing all right, buddy. Hope you're all right. Sending my love. You should get your package through the post any day, Matt. That should be with you. So yeah, the MOT ran right out June. My bad, slap on the wrist. How I ever got pulled, I don't know, because I went to Birmingham, Bristol, Guildford, Manchester. I've been everywhere on all the motorways, never got pulled. So very, very lucky to get away with that. Mrs. P's car went in for MOT, failed on about 5 or 6 lights out, which surprised me how she never got pulled. She had dip beam, she had no side lights, one indicator, a front fog, a back number plate, back tail light, I think she had. I don't drive the thing, very rarely drive it. Klaus, how you doing, buddy boy? Nice to see you. That is brilliant. Thank you, mate. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. No worries. Not keen on Chinese food, but love chicken fried. Oh, yeah, I love chicken fried rice. Yeah, and curry sauce heaven. It's only fine. Laugh out loud. I mean, yeah, apparently so. So that was Mrs. P's. It went in, and it also failed on a anti-roll bar linkage as well. I could have done it myself, didn't have a time to do it, so I just wanted the car back on the road, MOT'd and taxed, which it now is, and that cost me about 140 quid. And the MOTs down here are £35, but where I go, they give it like a pre-MOT check. So if it's got a bulb out, they do the bulb before it goes in, all that sort of stuff. It cost about £5–10. So on a 50 nicker for that one. My van went in. Now, bearing in mind, I did do the seatbelt because it would have failed on that anyway, if you saw the video. And then I had to put 4 boots on it as well because the tyres were no good. So I went down to my local shop where I normally go. They wanted too much money. Found a shop in Bognor where I live, and they do part cut tyres, part worn. And I got 4 tyres for mine, which are 17-inch rims. I've got alloys on my Astra van because it handles better. And I got them for 30 quid a tyre, and they've got about 85% life on them. Got them for 30 quid a tyre, so that's not too bad. So tyres I don't count as MOT. I count that as wear and tear. Even brakes I don't count as MOT failure. I count that as wear and tear, so that never comes into it in my head. However, the Astra van went in, and then 3 hours later came back and done, all passed straight through. So it only cost me £40 for the MOT. However, it did cost me £30 a corner on the tyres, and that's it. So not too bad. Quite happy with it. So that's good. On top of that, whilst I was oh dear, my guts are gonna hunt duck fried rice sweet. There you go, Matt. Get onto it. So whilst I was floating about this week, I went on to eBay and I've managed to secure. I've actually got it in the garden actually, which I picked up a mower for £8. It's a bit of an old dog, but hopefully painted up and looking nice. It might turn a few quid. It's not everyone's cup of tea. So I picked up a nice little haterette, which is, let me turn my brightness down a smidge for you. Make it a bit better. It needs a lick of paint and what have it. So there's a haterette, which I picked up. That, as I say, only cost £8. It's the quad blade system. So it's got 4 individual blades on it. And it's got the wrong engine on it. It's got a 3.5, or it's got a 4 horsepower Quantum on the top. It should have an old Briggs and Stratton Classic, but it ain't got one. Someone's had a bit of a play with it. So, hi Stefan, how you doing? Not bad, considering you forgot about the MOT and lucky boys in blue didn't catch. Yeah, I was lucky. I was very lucky, and I know that. Could have been quite expensive. Hiya Brandon, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. 58 in the house. That's the most I've had in the house for a long time. So it would appear that 6 o'clock slot is going to be quite a good slot for me. So that's that. Not too bad. It's in the MOT. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So on top of that, I was due to go on Snobby's stream yesterday. I did try and poke my head in the door whilst I was busy, but the laptop was working overtime. So I do apologise, Snobby, for not coming in. But I was trying to edit a new film. I was up in the house and the kids all had their Xboxes on and all that old caper, and the internet just sucks when it's up there. So I've been using a new software, which is called Vegas Studio 14, which Gary Butler's dad, Martin, put me onto. It cost about £24 off of Amazon or Amazonian. Hi, Tim Spannerman, how are you? I had a few of them haters, simple to work on. Yeah, are very simple. Yeah, should be okay. I think it needs a new set of blades, Gaz. You know, you can buy the blades. I think they're about £9 I've seen them for, cheapest. I haven't even tested it yet, so hopefully it's not a donut. But if it is, I've got a spare Quantum. I couldn't even put a 3.5 Classic on. I've got a 3.5 Classic there. That could go on it. But we'll see. So yeah, I've been testing a new software out, which is very tricky to use. Martin did very kindly did a StreamYard with me yesterday. That's why you thought I was going live yesterday, some of you. In fact, it was me and Martin on the StreamYard for about half hour, 45 minutes, and he was talking me through the basic editing skills of this software, which there's a lot to it. and I'm getting there. And I kept making mistakes last night, which is ruining the editing on it. I had to go back and redo it all. And not only that, but in the bottom section now, or wherever I want to put it, you should be seeing a subscriber tab come up, what they call a call to action tab, which hits the subscribe button, it turns grey, goes across, and rings a bell. Which I made that myself. Followed a YouTube video and made that completely myself. It took me about 3 hours to actually put the calculations in to make it do what it should do. So that's that done. On top of that, I've been working on this little puppy over here, which is what you would have saw if you watched my videos. This is the Premier Champion. That's now had the black put on the inside now as well, which looks kind of cool. I'm quite happy with it. So that's just had a standard black primer Amrite on the inside, but on the outside it's had the hammered look, which is that's now gone hard. So I'll be doing that video probably tomorrow, if I get chance in my busy schedule. Putting that on back together. So it is a video nearly done, ready to come back. There's a video done, that's the stripping and the painting, or whatever, the sanding down process. Sony Vegas is looking promising. Ooh, what was that? Sony Vegas is looking promising as I'm testing latest version 17 Pro. Good luck with that. Let's know how you get on with that 17 Pro. I think the 17 Pro is about 80 quid, 80, 90 quid. But for what I needed to do, the £20 option, actually, the Sony 14 does a lot. It does a lot. And if you really get to grips with it, then it should do more than what I want it to do. So I'm quite happy with it. Polar Bear Edge just wandered in the house. How are you? Benedict, I've already said hello. You use Kenda Live for editing videos. It's free. Well, as I say, there are some softwares. I've been using a GoPro Studio, which is all right, but it's very basic and you can't do a lot with it. You can't remove green screens and you can't do that sort of stuff. And that's what I wanted it to do. So that's why I moved over. How you doing, Kathy? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Everybody abusing Snobby, but otherwise you haven't missed much, Mick. Okay, well, I haven't read it yet. I'm behind. I'm behind. I'm getting there, though. 14 will do the job as well as far. I learned how to use it and it will fly. Yeah, exactly. It should be fine. D Butler, how are you doing? Greetings, everyone. Mower beginning to look good. Yeah, it is. We're getting there with the mowers. I've got a hater over here, which is going to be next on the bench. It'll be that hater in the background, or it's going to be the haterette. I might go for the haterette next. Now, you can get a special paint for that, which is like a limeish light green. But I ain't doing it. Too expensive. But I have got a tin of galvanized metal, smooth, dark green. So I may just give it some of that. And see what that looks like. Or should I pay for the proper paint for it? Bearing in mind, people ain't going to really be worried about it. As long as it runs is what we want it. So I might just give it a paint of that green. How you doing, Brad? Nice to see you. Just send the green. I need a new Bentley. Righto, Pete. No worries, mate. Good. So that's how my week has gone. So sort of hectic in the right places. And been busy. 59 in the house. How are we looking on the old doodads then? I suppose I got a couple of thumbs down knowing me because everyone hates me. 37 on the thumbs up I'm showing. It's good. I'll give myself a thumbs up. That's 38. Let's shut that off. I got your address, Dirt Rider, so you should be getting something for the post shortly, buddy. I've got something for you. Right, on another note, Claus, I see Taro sticker on your tool chest. You ever buy any of his products? No, I haven't. No, I haven't bought any of his products. No, in fact, those stickers from Taro weren't actually from Taro. They're from Pete Froud, who's in the chat. He sent them to me. I've got quite a few stickers now. We're getting there. I've had a couple of parcels turn up. Hands up if anyone bought me anything off of my Amazon wish list. I had a parcel turn up today, but it doesn't have a note in it say who it's from, so I can't thank someone. But I'm going to do a video on that anyway. No point in proper paint, mate. Puts price on it too high. People won't be interested in put. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Techie's got a hot chocolate, which is nice. Come on, Peak, smash a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Tina, for that. Fun. Did you get me any? Get you any what? Any paint? What'll I get you? Whirly boy, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy boy. Hope you're doing well. You should see this junk mower we just got in. Well, hopefully you'll do a video on it, Brandon. It'd be nice to see. Right, so I'm going to put a link out. And everyone's welcome. Last time I renewed something cut in bed for Husqvarna ride on. Use the car underbody instruction. Work myself out. Cool. I'll put the link out. You must have order written in the chat, so I know you're there. Don't just go hit the link and come straight up without commenting in the chat saying hello to everybody else. You must have the camera turned on, microphone turned on. Also, you'll have to authenticate your YouTube account as you come in. It'll say authenticate. You have to do that. And I want to try and keep these streams as busy as I can. So I want people up, I want people talking, not just people sitting back looking around and doing nothing. So if you run out of conversation or what have you, or you're just sitting there, there's a very high chance you might be put in the basement until you start chirping. I want this chat to be busy, enjoy it, and keep the chat going. That's the idea of it. So I'll put a link out. And then, as I say, anyone is welcome. I'll have up to 6 as long as we all play nicely and respect each other's talk time. And then let's see how your week went on. See how you boys and girls have been getting on. It'd be nice to see. Don't forget to try and share this stream out if you can on your social media platforms. That'd be good. Hiya, Jack. How you doing? Mike sounds well too. Cool. Well, there's a link. Hi, Luke. How you doing? Nice to see you. So we've got Whirly. Steve Whirly's come up first. How you doing, Whirly boy? Nice to see you, buddy.
You doing all right by yourself?
I'm doing all right, buddy boy. I'm doing all right. How's your week?
It's all right. I got a vehicle I got to work on. This rain will go away.
Rain?
I got to replace a water pump on my daughter's Jeep.
Water pump?
Yep.
Okay. Have you fixed it, then?
Not yet. Just broke down yesterday. Yeah, at least she was here by us when it broke down. Luckily.
Okay. I've got Brandon coming on in. How you doing, Brandon?
Doing good. Thought y'all want to see this junker.
Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Where are you? You are that one there. Let's have a little look at it then.
Let me flip the camera around here for y'all.
Oh, dear.
Look at this funky wiring. Yeah, look at all that. So obviously what he did was he wired the PTO clutch up separate for some reason, whatever reason he had at the time. Then look at this lovely exhaust. This exhaust is so lovely, ain't it? Look at that.
So what is that? Is that a push button walk behind, or what is it?
No, it's a zero turn.
Oh, it's a zero turn. My God.
My sister's boyfriend paid $200 for this.
Really? What? And the trailer?
No, the trailer is one of our trailers. This is our smallest trailer.
He paid $200 for that.
Yeah. No spark
I
plug.
would pay $5 for it.
Was he drunk?
No. He went to buy it in the middle of the night. The guy got him to come late at night to buy it, so he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And then it's got a Nicky carburetor on a Kohler. It's the wrong carburetor. So it's a massive piece of junk.
Yeah, $200. I mean, you might get lucky out of it. We're going to do strip it.
If we fix it, he could probably break even and get $500 or $600 or $100 out of it. These Toro mowers ain't that nice. This ain't one of the nicer mowers zero turns you get on.
It looks like it's done a bit of work too.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Sparky's frozen or what he's doing, but at the moment he's making love to that cup on my screen. I don't know what he's doing. There he is.
So I do this morning, Paul, or afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. I'm just got no signal coming through 3G.
I just had a comment from Luke. He said, "Mick, what's your next project?" I'm still working on this, Luke, which is the Premier mower. The paint job's now done, and we'll be putting that together this week, and then I should be working on a Haterette, which is quite an old mower, about 1960s, I would say, but it has got a quantum engine on it. So I got a bit lucky with a quantum because the other ones are the older style Briggses. Tony Shaw's in the house. How you doing, Tony? Nice to see you. Hi, Jim. Thank you, Mick, so much.
Back
Yeah,
after.
Mike, no problem, mate. It will be on its way soon. Matt Stubbington saying hello. What's this here? Hey, Mick, is that package on the top of the toolbox what I think
It is a Toro time cutter.
Package on top of a toolbox.
I'm just now getting to the chat. All right, going to the shop now.
Yeah, okay, buddy. What package you on about, buddy? Package on. Hey, Mick, is that package on top of a toolbox what I think it is? No package. Are you on about these? Are you on about these? And what have you? If that's the case, I did do an unboxing. If the package you sent me, so the one with the cable oiler and what have you that you sent me, that video has been done. That came the other week. If I'm guessing right, let me know. Right, everyone's saying hello to everybody else. Simeon's catch up with his chat. Good
Look,
Lord,
it's cleaner.
Yeah. Well, what's that?
It's cleaner.
We
This is
cleaned
the
it.
Briggs. This is the Briggs I'm restoring. Well, let me flip
Oh
the
yeah, I've
camera
seen that one.
around.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, you did a strip down, didn't you?
Yeah, I just did the cleaning. Now I gotta sand it all down and paint it up.
Yeah.
So
Are
I
you
can
missing
go
any parts?
Are
Are you missing any parts on it at all, Brandon? Or you got all the parts?
I got all the parts, I think, now. Boneyard sent me like everything. I need it.
Cool. Oh yeah, I saw he sent you a load of bits. That was cool.
Yeah.
Pete Froud reckons that lawnmower, that zero turn's a bit of a mess. Kathy says, keep me away from zero turns, laugh out loud. Let me this chat is doing that jumping thing again. Let me just find the last comment. I don't want to miss it on. Miss Canadian Scrapper's come in the house. I just seen you come in. Jim Landscape, Jim's in the room too. Where do I have a comment go?
Cat, these zero turns ain't that hard to drive. They're fun once you get used to them.
I love zero turns. I got a 54-inch Husqvarna myself.
What's that about, Jason? Do you want me to drop you an email, Jason, or what's that about?
That's what I fix most of the zero turns. I do a lot of commercial repairs, and that's what I do. This zero turns.
UK Dizzy says, is that a Toro Time Master? No, it's not.
Yeah. Yay!
Hi, Jim. How you doing? Who else we got in here? Jason Hughes is in the house. How you doing, Jason? Miss Scrapper's in the house. Okay, Dizzy. What's this say? JJ's thanks, mate. Cheer myself up. Okay, cool. No worries. That's good. Dirt Rider saying hello. Cool. So Mad Kiwi.
I'm working right now on a Cub Cadet 3000 series riding mower with the power steering and stuff. The guy brought it in last week. He found it in a foreclosed property.
Okay. So Mad Kiwi said, cool, I scored a Dynamex 12.5 horsepower ride-on in bits for 95 New Zealands. That's cheap. Tech's doing an update, apparently. The old 3-horse flathead, yeah, that's what the Haterettes normally have
What's going on in the live chat?
The tower system, yeah. But This didn't have it, and in some ways, Pete, I'm glad it has got the quantum on it. Really,
they don't even let me see the live chat today. Anyway,
got to go, Mick. Mum needs me by. Okay, yeah, no worries, that's fine, Bob. Take it easy, look after yourself. Thanks for popping in now. I've been looking for buying a time cutter, Brandon. Yeah, well, they're nice, but they can be pricey on parts, can't they, Brandon? Them Toro Time Masters.
Yeah.
I don't like those time cutters. They're bad. A lot of people bends in the front of those decks on the time cutters. I've repaired countless of those decks that people's actually bent the front of those decks up on their time cutters. It's very thin stamped steel.
They're pricey on parts too, aren't they? They're pricey on bits. Brandon. They're pricey on parts, aren't they? You got him.
I don't think he could hear right at the moment.
Yeah. Hi, Mick. Watching your Ace videos has made me start buying broken lawnmowers. I've already got 7 fixed ready for next season because of your great advice. Well, that's fantastic. I just hope you're not anywhere near me. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's have another little. Matt Stumpton has ordered a Chinese, my lord. John Collins in the house. How are you doing? Let me find another chat. This StreamYard chat is jumping. The one you had your hands on, you should have gotten some cable ends today. Got it. Was that from you, Hillbilly? I've got them. Thank you very much. I should do a video on it. I wasn't sure who sent them to me. It just come in an empty packet with no name on it. But if that was you, thank you very much. They're right beside me now. That's not, not a package here. The package is over there. So I got started from Snobby as well, which I want to share with everyone later on. So I'll be doing a video on that on my repair video. It tends to get better shout outs for you guys when I do shout outs for people. You get a better reaction out of it. First coffee morning. The newer Toro time cutters are about 5k in the UK, but they are pricey, and even a good second-hand one, you're still talking £800 to £1,000 for one that's got a few hours on the clock. I looked at one last season, and they wanted £750 for it, and I thought it was worth £5, and he wouldn't budge on it. He would not budge.
What year was it?
It was about 4 years old.
That's fairly cheap. If you buy a four-year-old lawnmower over here like that, you're looking at about $1,000 to $1,500.
The difference between me and you, Steve, is that you're going to buy it to use it. I'm buying it to sell it.
True.
You know, so you've got to knock £200 off. Otherwise, there's no meat on the bone for me to sell, you see.
Yeah.
Kenneth's in the house. How you doing, Kenneth? Nice to see you. Max, Luke, Kiwi. Yeah, I drove into the tree, apparently. Cappy Durban did. Oh, that was from Matt. Okay, Matt, no worries. How are we doing? Fun things to do with tech all night. Signal. The turkey is for next Christmas, A Sparks. Chris Howell's in the house. How you doing, Chris? Nice to see you. Go back feed from you, Mick. Anyone else? Got back feed from me? I can hear that too. I don't think it's me. I think it's Steve-O. Yeah, Steve. Steve's doing it, not me.
What?
Got a bit of feedback, Steve. I don't know if you've got YouTube open or something else running, mate. A little bit of feedback off you. It's not too bad, to be fair.
You should be fine and done, you know.
Yeah,
you're all right.
It's up, but it's muted.
Yeah, no, yeah, I appreciate that, mate. It's just I might be StreamYard, but as soon as I pause you, mute you up, it disappears altogether. So,
how about now?
It's not a problem. As long as we can all hear each other, I'm quite happy with it. The speed of the cuts is unbelievable. I think they cut the lowest setting is at 12 miles an hour. Yeah, it is. Matt Stumpton, JJ's had an awesome Nan's recipe apple crumble on my own in my oven for Boxing Day. Cool. Your speakers, my speakers. I'm not using my big mic tonight, so it can't be. But as I say, as soon as I shut Steve off, let me know. Is that gone now? That feedback. I can't hear the feedback. I can't even hear you, Brandon. Full stop. Can't even hear you. You're not coming through. Full stop.
So how are you then, Mick?
I'm all right, buddy boy. How are you doing?
Just landed back off my holidays.
Good. Are you getting any feedback at all, Sparky?
I got no feedback whatsoever.
And what about if I bring Steve back into it?
He had no feedback this morning.
What about now?
I don't hear nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jason Hughes says it's okay now, but I've turned it back on, Steve. So it's not a problem.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
It might be streaming. You all right, Brandon?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, here now, buddy. Yeah.
What it is I unhooked these earlier and I hooked them back up, and I think that's why it messed it all up.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool. And on top of that, on top of everything that happened this week, I got a parcel come through the post, and I hadn't ordered anything, so I thought maybe someone's bought something off my wish list or something like that. But they hadn't. And this turned up. Anyone guess what they are?
The calendars.
They're the calendars that Martin Butler originally sent me through Hermes. They've all now turned up. A week and a half late. So I've said to Martin, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to send you some back or what? And he said, no. He said, just sell them best you can. So I've got an ample amount of calendars. Loads of them now. So if anyone is still after a calendar, which are
you going live this week, Rick?
Say again.
Are you going live this week?
I could do. Why is that?
Because basically just asking because it's easy for me because when I can go onto the super chat then in the week to do a calendar.
If you want a calendar, I'll save you one. All you got to do is put a donation to Riley's charity.
That's fine. Yep, that's fine.
You want one?
No worries. Yes, please. You okay with that?
Yours.
Yeah.
Email me your address, buddy.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
And then what I'll do is, if you email me your address,
yep,
I will return it with a link to Riley's donation charity.
That's fine. Yep.
And
yeah, we'll do that.
And once you've donated into a charity and confirmed it, I'll post it off to you.
That's fine. Fantastic. Thank you.
That's yours. So I got a nice Christmas card, which is delayed by 2 weeks, by a week obviously. To Mick and family from Martin and Sharon. That turned up just the other day. Steve, yours is on my dining room table. I need to send yours off to you, Steve.
All right.
Yours is coming. So if anyone else would like a calendar, all you got to do is put a donation into my son's, into the charity that supports my son. It's not my charity. I just help run it. So if you can just put yes, please, in the chat if you want one, and then email me up. Or failing that, if you just email me. I'll put my email in the section. And I'm only after a donation.
Yeah.
Where's my email address? There it is there. Show that. There's my email address there. Floating down below. So if anyone wants one, you've got one, okay? Oh, no, Isaac, yeah. If anyone wants me, email me, and then I'll send you a link to the donation site, and you can have one, which is cool. Who else we got in here? Who else has popped in? Hi, Bruce. How you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Tim Palmer's come on in too. How you doing? Darcy Dusty. I saw hi Snobby and Dusty. I saw Snobby. I didn't see Dusty in here. APJ, how you doing? Did Dusty pop ahead in? I didn't see her. I have been trying to keep an eye on the chat best I can, but it's moving quite quick. With 62 of you in here, it's moving a little bit fast.
Right.
So yeah, anyone who wants a calendar, I'll keep reminding you as we go through the night. Just literally send me an email on my email address below, scrolling below there, and I'll. Someone said I'll have one. Someone said I'll have one. Was it? I'll have one, Mick. Yeah. All right, Ian. email me up, buddy. I know you have emailed
Guys,
me before. If you email me and put in the subject calendar, then I know what's going on.
I'm gonna get off here and work on this mower because I just got to get it ready for this guy to pick it up.
Well, I do a video in Brandon Bump. Nice to see it.
All right.
Take
Later,
it easy,
everyone.
mate. Thanks for popping in. So that's Brandon over at BS Small Engines. Thanks for popping in. Hey up, Johnny. How you doing, buddy boy? I'll throw the link down. Mick, is it dress up night tonight? No. Well, unless you call it underpants only, it could be. But it's not tonight. Micks Mowers. Steve's mic is close to his speaker. It could be, yeah. Try. Where's your mic, Steve?
It's at the same spot it's always at.
To be fair, the feedback has gone from me.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing it as much, but if not, just drop out and come back in, buddy. Sometimes that cures it. APJ, sorry, hit the wrong button. Someone get timed out or something. Hi, my name is Tom. Tom Hemmer, lawnmower videos like this. Hi, my name is Tom. Lawnmower videos like this. Are you saying you've got videos in, Tom? Is that what you're saying? Let's have a little look at you. Let's see what you're doing. Tom has 1 subscriber. I'm not seeing no videos though, Tom. You've got your channel quite closed up. I can't really see a great deal about it. Anyway, pleased to meet you, Tom. Hope you're doing well. He's fixed it now, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. It sounds fine. I think StreamYard is a pain in the backside sometimes.
What are you?
The last few days I've been having a heck of a time with reverbs and everything else on StreamYard.
Chris put a question mark. What are you question marking about, Chris? I'm not with you, buddy. Where are you, Chris? He's fixed it. What's that about, Chris? Why are you question marking, mate? What's that? Oh, no. Okay. Oh, you like my videos, Tom? Okay, Tom. I understand. No worries. It's cool. Thank you, Tom. It means a lot. It means that I'm doing the right thing. So I'm happy with that. Right, I'll put the link out for any more that want to come on up. There's space for another 3 more to keep the chat rocking and rolling. Don't forget, this is not just my live stream. This is yours as well. So the more the merrier. Feel free to come on up. I see the Kiwi is trying to come up once his camera comes on. Is that you, buddy boy? Yeah, I can see you. How you doing? There's a mad Kiwi. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you.
Good, mate.
Happy New Year to you, buddy.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone, too.
Are you doing well?
Oh, I hope I am. The weather hasn't picked up one little bit, so it's raining and cold again. Summertime.
We should be thankful for that, comparing what's going on in Australia at the moment. They got it a bit too hot.
It's shocking, mate.
Yeah, isn't it just? Yeah. Isn't it just? I mean, I know that the Prime Minister was on there today and he was saying about being part of the Commonwealth. That was a dig to the UK to try and get their asses over there trying to help out by the looks of it. But yeah, it's a bit of a shocking mess. And I know it is bushfire season, but my lord, they're paying for it.
Yeah, well, they blame the greenies.
Mick, are those cheap Chinese Honda carbs any good? Saw one for about £8. Might sort out my problem. All I'm going to say to you is that I buy lots of copied parts. The only thing I don't generally muck about with copied parts is gasket and diaphragms for the 3.5 Classic. I tend to buy either really good copies that are reliable, or I just buy genuine. I use okay. Let's be honest. 85-90% of all carburetors currently are all coming out of China. All of them, even the Zama for steel are coming out of China. Just different quality. So I would say yes. If you have a problem with a fuel delivery on a carburetor, even a Honda, which sounds suspicious to me because most bowl style carburetors don't tend to fail very much. If you clean them properly and do the little tricks to widen the jets out and what have you, that's why they tend to have an issue. But yeah, I have no problem with buying Chinese carburetors and using them. They tend to work quite well. Hope that answers your question. So what have you been up to then, Mad Kiwi boy? What have you been doing?
Oh, I've been buying a wee bit of shit. Oh, sorry, shouldn't say that. Good junk.
Right.
I've been buying some good junk.
Okay.
But no, like I said, I've got 8 acres to fill, so I've got a wee way to go yet. But the wife was just saying, "What are you going to do with all these lawnmowers?"
Right. So what are you going to do with them?
I gotta get rid of them basically, so I can buy some more. But
You got to get rid of them to buy some more. You got to sell them. Are they up and running? Are they or?
yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 10 are running. So I've still got another couple of projects. I've got this new Dynamax that I picked up for 95. The guy had pulled it apart and the motor didn't fit his other one. So he just left it and sold it. But with about 5 minutes work, he could have put that motor on his one and it would have gone. No worries at all. But hey ho.
Well, I get lots coming. In fact, the main dealer that I purchased my mowers off of, he rocks up with a transit van full of them. They're not rookie. He's got a contract with a local recycling centre down this way of the world. You can't buy out of the recycling centres because they have contracts.
Really?
At the moment, that's due to change apparently. They're going to be changing it to say if you want it and you can recycle it, you can have it. Apparently, but the people who actually have the contracts in place are not going to like that. So anyway, I get this deal with this fella. He texts me once in a blue moon saying, "I've got some lawnmowers. Do you want them?" He sends me some photographs and he gives me his price. We have an argument for 10 minutes about that price, and then he always delivers them. And I would say, I think over the whole season this year, he's probably delivered about 40 mowers. And I think only one has been terminal that I've still got it. It's overheating all the time, and I can't figure out why it's overheating. I think it could possibly be a head gasket, which I haven't checked on it. That could be the only reason I suspect it, but I might have the head off of it and push the piston back to see if it's scored in there. It might be binding on the piston. But 1 out of 40 is not bad at all.
That's pretty good.
What's up, Donald, buddy?
Hi, Donald. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Riley boy's in bed. He had his Chinese night, and that done him in. He's done. So he's got to bed. Everyone's saying hi to everybody else. So how was your holiday, Steve?
Yeah.
Sparky, sorry. How was your holiday?
Relaxing but stressful.
How can your holiday be relaxing and stressful? When I go on holiday and I have a stressful relax, is generally because my glass is empty.
Sparky, just be careful because she's just behind you.
Yeah, the missus, yeah.
I heard that one.
So why was it stressful?
Because they got new phones for Christmas, and all of them started playing up. So I just started to sit there for all afternoon trying to get them all working.
What phones were they?
Samsung. There was an iPhones, but Samsung was absolute trash. It didn't want to respond on nothing. It just didn't want to respond on nothing, so I had to reset it all, and then it got it working. But it didn't want to respond out of the box. So we think that was a fault with it, but I've had to reset it to factory manufacturer. So yes.
Was it not new then?
I don't think it was. No, I don't think it was.
Because otherwise, why set it back to factory settings if it wasn't already, if it was new, it already set to factory settings.
Well, it was already done by somebody else. We don't know who's done it. We don't know. So the family got it. I don't ask questions of this programmer.
Oh, one of them sort of phones, the old ask no question ones. Ah, right. Then it wasn't set.
Yes, and I didn't ask any questions because it's legit. It's bought from. I think it was bought from CEX or bought from someone like that originally, but they said it's factory refurbed.
All right. Yeah, I don't deal in anything hooky.
I don't know. So yeah, I've seen the receipt, I've seen everything on it. We'd got it sorted, factory resetted it, it worked fine now. So
They tend to offer a bit
but
of
yeah,
rebate.
done all that, plus done some electrics.
Samsung.
Right, UK Dave.
Well, Matt Stumpton says that Samsung place them on a clay trap and launch them. I've got the Samsung S9 Plus. I've had that a year, and that's been a really, really good phone. Really good phone.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you guys on a Samsung Note 8.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, well, I've got the P20 Mate Pro. Fantastic phone, the Hawaii one. I've had no issues.
Yeah. I tend to. I found that I had more issues with the iPhones because of the way in which iPhones are set up.
Yeah, yeah.
And they sort of
Yes.
corner you into it must be Apple product and all this sort of caper. You know, but that's why I come out of Amazon, out of Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the S9 too. Can't knock it. Yeah, exactly that. I've had no problem. Hammy's got a Nokia 320 all day long.
I've set many Samsung phones up.
Never had a problem with mine. Says,
but this one didn't want to set up. So,
did have you? Oh, hello. This might be a typo. Did have you as Mick? Must be unlucky with mine. Hence, went to a clay trap. Okay, yeah. LG. Yeah, I've had LG as well. I mean, it all depends what you want it for, isn't it? At the end of the day, it all depends what you want it for.
yeah.
The Samsung S9 for me.
Well, in the past year, they've had 2 iPhones. So yeah. So I'm going to change computers, as Steve well knows. I'm going to change my computer, the office computer, because this network down here is trash tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Cool. Yeah. No worries. It's fine. No rush, Barry. I've lived this long without a webcam. Yeah, I'm not using my new webcam tonight. I'm using my my backup one tonight because I had issues last week with it. So I'm looking at changing laptops too. I've got 63 in the house. That's quite cool. Bruce has a Cat S60, whatever that is. Never heard of that. Is that diesel? I'm getting a new phone for Ali Mac's birthday. Cool. I've got the S10. Started with the S5 all the way to 10. Planning doing giveaway. Sort out. So that's cool, Barry. No worries. The 11 Pro here. Camera is awesome. Is that the iPhone? It sounds like the iPhone.
Yeah, 11 Pro is the iPhone.
Yeah, that's what my my middle boy Brandon wanted for Christmas, and he was told where to go. Because them be about £1,000 a chuck, ain't they?
They're not cheap.
Yeah, no, that's what he wanted. I told him Santa Claus is on a budget this year. So he didn't get it.
And Apple is only good to keep the doctor away and the teacher happy.
Exactly that. Exactly that. I'm converted from Apple. I didn't have much dramas with them. Nothing immense, but I just found, like I say, you were just always tied to Apple products, and you know, they push the price up every year. And at least with an Android or you know, the Samsung, at least you've got a bit of variation to what you can and can't download. And to be fair, my Samsung comes with so many more bolt-ons. It's got Word on there. It's got Excel as standard. It's 128 gig, which is standard. And Apple likes to charge the earth for their 128 gig version.
Yeah, well, my Note 8 is 2.5 years old now.
Yeah.
And it came with 64, is it? 64 gig?
Yeah.
Internal, and I threw 256 at it, memory card, and I've had no issues at all. It hasn't frozen, it hasn't crashed, it hasn't done anything.
Well, this Samsung on mine is also dual SIM as well, so you can put 2 SIM cards in it and pretend it's 2 phones effectively.
Yeah.
which a lot of people do at work. They issue out the iPhone 6Ss, or they're just now on the 7s at work. But lots of people taking their SIMs out and put it in their Samsungs and running dual phone system.
Yeah.
Which tends to work quite well. Let's try a bit of a clean up whilst I'm here.
But at least with Samsung, like you said, you get variety. Like you go from the real cheap ones to the really expensive ones, and they're all reliable. Whereas with the iPhone, that's all you get, about 2 or 3 different models, and that's it.
But everything is, if you want an authentic Apple charger from Apple, I think they're about 24 quid.
Ooh.
For an authentic Apple charger that's going to pack up inside 3 months. Whereas you can get one off of I think I've got my spare charger for my Samsung off of Amazonian. I think it costs about 9 quid.
Yeah.
And the chargers don't break on them. I only got bought one because I wanted a spare one.
Yeah.
This here, Mick, I bought at a clearance sale.
Yeah.
It's got all 3 ports.
Yeah.
And everything for $5, and works just fine.
Yeah. As long as you're happy with it, it's cool. But all the Apple chargers I've ever had, they've always broken. They overheat, and they just end up comes out. If you buy a cheap one from like the supermarket, it always comes with this may not be supported, and all that sort of cake. But I can't be dealing with that.
But the funny thing is, like, everything that you charge is either micro USB or C-type. You never ever see any of your bits and pieces that you need to charge up, like cameras and all that sort of thing, with an iPhone charger.
Exactly. I thought Apple were told to sort their chargers out because it was taking the piss, because people were just literally spending money.
Just change your charging port back to the normal, It's easy.
Yeah, I got a set of I think for my work phone, they give me an iPhone 7, and it come with a set of iPhone 7 headphones, which are the same sodding end as an iPhone charger. So now you can't even charge it and have your headphones in at the same time.
Yeah.
You have to get a splitter.
Oh yeah. Okay, you have to get a splitter, but how much is a splitter? Do you see what I'm saying? They got you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Splitter's like a $2-3 piece.
Not an authentic Apple one. What I'm saying is that the cheaper ones generally come up. They generally come up with a "this device is not supported" gimmick.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem with Apple products, in my opinion. Lots of people may like the Apple product, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan anymore. Who we got there? Sparky's come back. All right, Sparky, can you change your t-shirt?
No, I've just change computers because the cats get annoying down there.
The what?
The cats are getting annoying.
The cat?
Yes.
We'll kick it out.
Well, it's an indoor cat only.
All right, put a raincoat on it.
Yeah.
So Jason Hughes is still rocking an iPhone 5S. Lovely. He needs a new phone, apparently, says Tina.
Yeah, he needs to update, sure.
Videos and use it for that. Okay. So Samsung, what's that? Samsung? I got a Samsung L1, whatever that is. I don't know if that's old or new. I've got no idea. Intense. Just going through the comment section. Don't want to miss anything. Needs a new phone. Samsung 5. Bet's a pink one. There's a joke. Tina said you're getting a new phone. Oh, not fighting, are we? You lot. Hawaii. No, apparently they're not a bad little phone. Apparently.
I've got a P28 Pro.
You got a what?
P28 Pro. Fantastic phone.
I think that's one Martin Butler uses or is getting. I think. I might be wrong. Oh, that jumped a hell of a lot, Ben. I don't want to miss any of these chats. Sorry if I keep going back. All of a sudden, it jumps like 30, 40 chats. Just send me the green. Battery time, what's that one there? Battery time is the main factor on a new phone for me. It is. And my Samsung lasts, as long as you're not ragging it, it lasts all day long. Dirt Rider has a Motorola Meto Z4. I got it for Christmas. It's working great. Hopefully that'll improve you when you connect to it on the old live streams then, Mike. That'd be good.
Do you hear something funny, mate?
Go on, buddy. Yeah, listening.
I've still got 2 old pink Motorola Razors, but not the flip razor.
Yeah.
In there.
I just charged them up and they're still working.
Yeah, they will do. I like the Motorola Razor, the flip one as well. I love that phone.
They're worth a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, I love that phone. Tom's off out. Thank you very much for popping in, Tom. Nice to see you. What's this here? iPhone is all about keeping it to themselves apps. Yeah, exactly that. All Apple chargers, like Apple, even the headphones, are iPhones now, getting money grab. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. That's why I moved.
What's up, Andrew?
Polar Bear, back to work for Polar Bear. Cool, no worries, buddy. Cheers, Tom. Fried eggs, apparently. What's that about fried eggs?
I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna get the parts for this Jeep and get started on it.
Right, mate. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Take care, Steve.
When I get the parts and get out there with the phone and show you what I'm doing.
Yeah, cool. Look forward to it. Yeah, no worries.
So I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that noise is gone now. Cheers, Tom. Stuffing my face with Chinese now. There you go. That was my idea. Sorry, Matt. That's probably cost you 30 quid. In fact, I still got my ribs to eat. I didn't eat my ribs. I couldn't eat them. Apple has a bite out of it before you buy. Exactly that. Yeah, I agree.
So, Mick.
Yo.
I've got the opportunity to buy a 747cc V-twin Cola for $100 that goes.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, £60.
Yeah. Have you got anything to put it on?
My friend has just basically come around yesterday to have a hunt for a PTO shaft because he picked up an Iseki diesel mini tractor with a rotary hoe on it for $400.
That sounds like a deal.
It was. And he's basically suggested that he's going to give me his old Husky American ride-on lawn tractor.
Okay, and you got
it came with a Kohler, but it's only a 12 horse. But I was thinking a 30 horse on that would go all right because it's got a proper gearbox and everything, you know.
What horsepower are you going to put on it?
Sorry?
What horsepower are you going to put on it?
30.
A 30?
Yeah. But it's got a proper gearbox. It's the old school American lawn tractor.
The only problem you might find with it is that although it's got a proper gearbox and you're nearly doubling the horsepower, it might not be geared up enough to deal with it.
Right.
That might be your issue, and you might find it'd be good in top end gears, low revs, but if you put it in a low gear and give it the beans, you might find your transmission box about half a mile down the road.
Okay.
It's a bit like putting a petrol engine in a diesel motor because the differentials and the gears are set lower, geared lower. Putting a bigger engine in could not be a good thing. You might have transmission problems.
I have got an old Ford flathead V8 4-speed with a PTO shaft on it, so I could marry that up.
That would be a better option.
Yeah,
it's a bit like the Vauxhall Astra van over here. I've got the diesel version, but the petrol version, I've got the petrol version gearbox in mine. And that's why the gearboxes tend, in my opinion, I mean, Ali Mack might prove me wrong, but that's why the gearboxes tend to go in them is because they're not geared down enough for the diesels.
I'll get rid of the diesel and put a red top buddy 2-litre buddy petrol in it.
Yeah, I'd always be a bit dubious if you're really up in the horsepower on the same gearbox, because it may not deal with it. For that price, Spark is not here. We used to put diesel boxes on RS turbos. Good pull away, top end, yeah, exactly that crap top end. That's what I'm saying. It's not geared right. How many gears has it got?
What's this?
How many gears has a Husky got?
I think
Say again.
it's either 3 or 4. I'm not 100% sure. But I just like the styling of it because it's got the big old rounded shaped bonnet, and yeah, it was just a score that he got.
There's Ali Mack in the chat. He's a mechanic, and he says, "You're right, Mick. The engine will run forever, but it might blow the box to bits."
Yeah.
It's always the issue when silly people put. I used to have a lot of Land Rovers years ago. A lot of Land Rovers. I was a Land Rover, not enthusiast, but Land Rover man throughout. And lots of people used to have the old fashioned series Land Rovers, and they'd think nothing of trying to put a TD 200 in there without upgrading the box, and it'd be fine just mooching about. But as soon as you give it the beans, you find your transfer box about half mile down the road.
We had a Series 1 Landy over here, and they got a straight. They're not a tapered rear axle, or they haven't got tapered axles, where they're just straight axle. And it was repowered with a 149 6-cylinder Holden petrol motor. You give it the beans, and you have to rev the shit out of it to get anywhere.
Yeah,
but
exactly that.
Too much torque, and they just snap the axle like they're just butter.
Yeah, I did something very similar. I had a 110 high capacity, which was a straight 4 naturally aspirated, and I took the gearbox out of that and the engine, and I put a TD 200 in it, which went really well. But I blew the back diff up because it's permanent 4-wheel drive. I blew the back diff up, and I changed that to Salisbury axles and Salisbury springs, which are the heavy duty ones, and it was fine after that. But because I put the TD 200 lump in and actually aspirated, it didn't like the back diff. I found it in bits.
But I find I've had quite a wee bit to do with Land Rovers and Land Rover people and Land Rover enthusiasts, but I find that they're very, very rich people having to fix them all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, definitely. But it's always worth a go. I know somebody around here that's put a 12 horsepower V twin on a push mower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He did it for a bit of a joke, but he actually uses it now. But he don't use it. He don't use it on full revs. I can assure you of that, because he can't hang on to it. But
no.
It seriously done the job. Let me throw the link out there again for anyone who wants to pop on that. Feel free. I actually sold a Husky yesterday. A Husky a day before yesterday. A Husky. You know, anyone seen my Husqvarna I had in this season? It had a bent crank on it, and I did an engine swap on it. I sold that 2 days ago. It went for really good money too. Shockingly good money.
But
went to a doctor across the road.
Yeah. This isn't Husky as in we know Husqvarna. This is Husky as in like the dog Husky.
Yeah, Husky. Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's late 50s, early 60s. So it's got the styling of the old lawn tractor, if you know what I mean. It just looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just be a bit concerned about up in that engine to that gearbox. I don't think we'll cope with it. It'd be all right for a while, but
the good thing over here is there's still a lot of old cars like the Morris Miners and Prefects and all that with the little tiny gearboxes on them.
Yeah.
So we may be able to make something up to that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Everything's doable. Can you? Yeah. Can you not make it into like a straight drive?
I I haven't had a look at it yet. John's just had he's peeved off with it because it's got a proper clutch in it, and there's something not quite right in the clutch system, but it can't be that complicated. You know what I mean?
Chris Ross, have you many lawnmowers? Is that a question for me? Well, it's become a bit of an obsession. Yeah, I've probably got about 15 mowers in stock, all running. I've got 2 in here, 15 in my store, and I've got about 8 up the top of the garden, and I've got another one coming tomorrow. I should have about 70 by about March, is what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking for.
70.
70, yeah.
Shit, how many acres have you got, mate?
I've got about a quarter of an acre. I can fit about 40 in my mower store if I stack them, and I've got another shed here which I can fit 20 in easily. I've got this shed as well. Last year I think I did about 142 mowers last year.
Blimey, a lot.
Well, you know, it's what I do.
That's it.
Not speaking Mickey boy. Is that me? Barry, did you comment me? I didn't see. I'm chatting as well, so I do apologise if I miss anything.
That's right. What I was going to say is another thing that you can make a bit of money on is the rotary hose. People only use them once or twice a season, and
What's
then they
that
get
for?
stuck in a shed. Rotary hose. Or
As in rototillers, yeah. So rotovators over here. There's 3 types. There's the 2-stroke or 4-stroke rototiller, which you can get relatively cheap. They don't tend to turn a lot of money, only because the market is mainly allotments, things like that. I would say there's only about 30% of people in my area that actually grow their own vegetables nowadays in their gardens. It's not like it used to be.
Right.
So they go for around down this way. They go for around about 80 to 100 quid, somewhere in there, if you can get them cheap enough. Then you can get the newer style ones, which are Chinese knockoffs, and they're not as good quality. Or you can get the diesel version, but the diesel version, the big boys, they hold their value whether they're broken and in bits or whether they're running. And you've got to fork out for that, but you know, you're talking about a £400 return minimum. But again, you know, people nowadays can go down to a local hire shop, hire one for the day, all singing, all dancing for about 50 quid, rotivate their allotment and their mates beside them. They all get down there on the same day, and they do 3 or 4 allotment patches for 50 quid, and someone comes picks it up. So it's not something I get into. I've done about 3 season before last. I've had none in this year, I don't think. I did 2 or 3 year before last. They sold, but I didn't make a great deal out of them. Not really. They weren't really worth the hassle for what I did to them.
I've got a really silly suggestion for you, mate.
Well, I'm all ears.
Cool. France and Europe is just across the ditch for you, and they've still got grass to mow. And what do the population do with all their second-hand mowers that are so-called knackered? You could go on a booze trip to France and fill up your van with mowers as well, and come back and pay for all the booze.
It's definitely an idea. But I dare say there's probably an overweight, bald, slap-headed idiot that does the same thing as me over there. And it's initially you have to get the contact. If I had a contact and I could pick up 40 or 50 mowers, I'd do it. I'd hire a van and I'd go over and do it, definitely. But as I say, I've got my regular bloke. I've got a bloke who also sells on eBay, but he tends to give me a ring before they go on eBay. But this season he became a little bit pricey for me. Not too bad. It was okay if I was running short on mowers. But I don't tend to pay much more than about £20 for a mower. And for £20, I want it working. You know, unless it's something like a hater, I don't mind spending that sort of money on a hater because the return is better, or a Honda. I generally pick my mowers up between £5 to £10 a pop. I've also hooked up with a bloke on here, Andy. He's found another couple of contacts, possibly. So I can get them regular. And the good thing is with me is I've been running for about 5 years on a sort of a lawnmower repair business, if you like. I get quite a bit of return custom, and I get a lot of part exchange as well. So people are in 3 months, they're going to be bringing in their broken mowers, which predominantly were running last year before they put them in a shed full of petrol. And I do a part exchange deal on them. I don't give them a lot for a broken mower, as you can appreciate, but because they get a brand spanking up and running tidy mower, they don't mind doing a part exchange. So they actually bring it down to me, give me their old mower, and go away with a new one. And I get another mower to strip or repair. So the part exchange this year was up by about 80%. Did really well out of part exchange. So it's definitely something you should consider. All I do is the only criteria I have is that the mower must have compression. As long as it's got compression, I can work around spark issues. So I've got a compression testing kit down here. And if I'm at all any doubt, I'll put a compression testing kit on it, give it 5 or 6 pulls and see what compression it pumps out. If it ain't got compression, I'll take it as spares and that's it. So that's something to consider. Ireland also is a fantastic place to pick mowers up, but it's so expensive to get over to Ireland and back.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of truck drivers coming over from Ireland through England to go to Europe every week. So if you've got a contact truck driver over there that could bring them over, Again,
it's about having a contact, and predominantly the stuff they're bringing over and back generally is food. Generally, so can't have that those sort of equipment. It's not can't have that sort of equipment in with food. So you've got Streamline running meals through that. Yeah. I'm always open to ears. If anyone's got any ideas of how to pick more mowers up or any machinery, you know me, I'll have a stab at anything. But it's got to be meat on the bone. The contact I had, he's the same. He's got a contract for local refuge sites all over the southeast region. And he'll open his back doors to his double extended Sprinter, and he'll have 60 mowers in there, and he'll say, "Oh, I want £35 each."
They're probably worth 40
for £35, snob. It ain't worth turning. It ain't worth doing because they're broken. They're all broken.
That's the problem. Everybody likes to get meat on the bone.
Exactly that. But when you take into account a dead man's handle cable, just for cable alone, they're 15 quid a go, 15 quid a pop. So now what I do, I've got some cable behind me, just where is it? They're just there. So I now make my own cables up if they snap, if the housings are good, which works. So I can get around it. But if you've got a mower that's got a drive cable, a dead man, a brake cable, and a throttle cable, and all three are snapped, it's 45 quid. With 45 quid plus your 35, you're making no money on the mower. You might as well just walk away from it. It ain't worth doing. And he just will not drop his prices. So I'm not worried. Ronan's in the house. This is Ron. He's the gentleman who's just down the road from me. He's the one that purchased my big microphone, and he was in my shack just the other day. Wanting his lawnmower wasn't running, so he come down and had a little walk in to see if I could help him. How'd it go, Ron? Did you get your lawnmower running again, mate? Did you get it fixed, or you still not done it? Is it still in bits in your back garden? How you doing, Snobby? Nice to see you, buddy.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for letting me get in a word in.
Well, it's Saturday night. It's my new stream. It's off the hip, Snob. It's off the hip.
Can we all wish Nick Jones 74 happy birthday?
Oh, happy birthday, Nicky boy. How old is he today?
Happy birthday.
I think about probably 20, because that's how old he acts.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick. If he's still there.
Snob, I got your parcel today, mate. I'm going to do a video on it, mate.
You don't have to.
And you were right. And when I got some other bits as well. And you were right. Yeah, I was trying to buy any for about the next 13 years.
Yeah, I know. That's why I sent them to you.
My lord. So how you been, Snob? Sorry I couldn't make your stream last night. I did try to duck my head in.
Well, I've put it in the diary.
Don't give it all that.
I've put it in the diary. It's been noted.
I had to didn't get a chance. Mick, been chatting with people and okay, cool, no worries. Yeah, it's this new software I've been working on. This new Vegas Studio. It's testing the old brain. It's testing the brain matter.
I am looking at getting that something from Amazon, which is the Movie Studio 15 Vegas Movie Studio.
That's the one.
Yeah, but it's something I've got to speak to Raphael regarding the laptop, whether it'll be compatible. I know the laptop's been upgraded to the Max, but I don't know.
Well, I bought the Studio one, a Vegas Studio, whatever it's called, 14, and I'm just running a standard Lenovo, which come out of PC World. The only difference of it is when it said when you put the disc in, you're supposed to just let the disc fire up, then hit start, and away it goes. It didn't do that. I had to download each file out of the disc separately, and then it transferred it onto my drive. But after that, it was fine. How much is the 15 then?
22.99.
Oh, that's cheap because I think my 14 was about 22 quid.
Yeah, 22.99. I think there's a little discount on it right now.
Well, as long as you've got a bit of patience, you'll be fine. Because as I say, it tested mine, and Martin actually did a live stream with a stream live with me yesterday for about an hour, and showed me through the basic functionalities of it. But it's already picked my game up. I can edit quicker, and I can edit more fine tuned. If you expand the timelines, you can actually see where you're talking and where you're not talking. You just click it, it's gone.
I mean, the actual editing app that I've got on the laptop, which Raphael put on there for me, right? You know, I mean, I've not seen anything as, you know, you can do just one little click and it takes you like a tenth of a second, you know, and then you can look at it, then you can cut, slice, and I mean, it's fantastic, but it's so complex. It's really difficult. You can fade in, fade out. It's just too much. I want something a little bit simpler than that.
Well, you may find that Studio is worse.
Can't be no worse than this Lightworks.
I don't know, mate. That's why I didn't make the stream so much, is because I bought in, say, 8 files, brought them down onto the timeline, snipped them where I wanted them, but then they started all this merging business where they were overlaying, and I was getting 2 lots of voices coming up and all this sort of stuff. I got around it in the end. Should work okay as far as
this other one that I've got now, this Viva Video. I mean, that is just so easy to use. To have like you have to subscribe for a free trial, but pay £2.39 for a month subscription, right? And then when I've done it all, I can only upload in 480, right? I've got to then pay for the premium service to be able to do 780, and then probably another premium service to do the 1080.
Yeah, I think I record in 1080, and this exports in 1080 as well.
Right. Well, I'll be speaking to Raphael later anyway. It should work okay though, as far as I know. Yeah.
Apparently, Ramsmo says if you get a 30% discount if you use Yoda.
Oh right, yeah. Have you? Oh, Yoda, yeah. I've not noticed Roy in the chat tonight, actually.
What? So obviously I missed a lot of what went on yesterday. So what is this Yoda then?
Well, you would have split your sides. That's all I'm saying. You would have split your sides. Unreal. I mean, Dirt Rider had to go and get some tissue to wipe his eyes because he was absolutely crying. He literally fell off the sofa.
Bring that
I-
a bit closer.
I use Power Director, and I can expand the timeline and do what you were saying, Snobby, and I find it really easy to get your head around.
Mm-hmm.
But the main reason I wanted this one is because I wanted to be able to remove green screen.
Right.
Because I've made that call to action button, which you saw in my last video if you watched it. And because it's set on, I did it via PowerPoint, and which I had to put onto a screen on the background so I could see it. And the only other one I could see that removed green screen for free was one called Camtasia, which was $240.
Blimey.
That's a good free bit of software.
Yeah, it removes green screen for free if you buy the software. So anyway, I spoke to Martin, and he said, "Yeah, you can do it on this as well. I'll get that, and I'll show you how to do it." So I was happy. Smokey's just come in the house. How you doing, Smokey? Nice to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I see you just listen up. I've done another video. I haven't got round to you yet either. I'm getting there. Be back shortly. Time to get kids to bed. All right, Matt. No worries.
I'm going to cut you loose too, mate, and let someone else pop up. But I shall go and invest some money in some other random stuff today, no doubt. And I'll tweak my mate's John's nipples just to see if he's going to okay this old tractor that he's talking about giving to me. So I did give him a mower deck for an old pony power, but that's worth about the same sort of money he paid for this thing. So cross fingers.
Yeah. All right, well, let us know how you get on.
I shall.
Look, so mate, give us a thumbs up on the way out. That'd be cool. Thanks for everything coming up. Lovely.
I've already done that, mate.
But give us another on the way out.
Turn it off. Take it off.
Cheers, matey. Take it easy.
Hi, Snobby. How's you in the background?
Hello, Sparky. Yeah, take it away.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, mate. Right, so there's the link in the chat. If anyone else wants to pop on up, feel free.
Barry's Visions.
Sorry for caps. No worries, Barry. It's fine. Yeah, it's only that it's spamming.
I do apologise last night, Snobby. Joe was not 100% last night because she was really bad coughing, and then she had a major fit.
Yeah, okay. Is she all right?
She's home. We're home now. She's in bed.
Good.
Well, it happens, mate. As part of your life, isn't it? I was going to have a go at poaching some powdered egg tonight. That'll take all night. You can use greens and get rid of green screen on that one as well. Apparently, there's loads. But I'm quite happy with the one I've got at the moment. This Vegas Studio, whatever it's called, and it's cheap, £20, and you can put that on any laptop as long as you've got your authorization code. It's free to use, so that's cool. So, what do you think of this live stream, Miss Snob? I think the 6 o'clock slot is working quite well.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there's no more Martin now, is there? In the Saturday afternoon no more. There's no more Martin.
Yeah, there is. He's going over to Butler's Empire on it, but it won't be as much as I think it will be. Literally, he'll go live when he wants to go live.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because he's not earning the revenue out of live streams.
Yeah.
And YouTube is his business, so he's got to do what works.
Shame about Bison.
If you're not earning the money out of it and it's your business, it's your job, and he's earning more money through videos.
So, I was chatting with Martin regarding that yesterday. Only via the chat. But I know he's been doing it like 12 years plus, and I understand that, and I really appreciate that, and he knows quite a lot about it. I understand that. But was there live streaming on YouTube through this sort of way 12 years ago when he first started?
Not through multi panel like this, definitely not.
Right.
And no, the live stream wasn't always available. No.
Right. So what I've discovered already, is that you can add subtitles to whatever we're saying, right?
Yeah.
So I've already experienced since yesterday, people, because I can tell by the hours, that are clocking up.
Yeah.
And somebody out there in a foreign world is watching it under subtitles.
Yes.
Because they want to learn the English language, which you didn't have that ability 12 years ago.
Exactly.
So, although what Martin says is absolutely 100% right, videos, content, yeah. But this way of doing it, is this a newer way? And like, because we can put a video up in like 3 hours, 4 hours, get 100 thumbs up straight away, nearly 600 views, straight away. You know, and on a video, if you're really popular, you can get 1,000 views in an hour. I understand that, you know, but you've got to be in the game for 12 years to get that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like,
definitely.
You know, you've got to have X amount of subscribers to get them type of views within an hour, haven't you?
Yeah. Looking for his light. Put it down in Snobby's shed. Apparently, his lightsaber. So I take it then that Roy is Yoda. Is that what I'm picking up on?
I'm not saying nothing.
All right. Well, thanks for helping me out. I have to watch your
But
live
all I can say is there is a little Mountfield mower being made for Yoda on the 3D printing machine.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. It's in process.
Right. Okay. I might have to watch your live stream back to see what the score is then.
You won't have to, because you'll see in the future. Apparently, Yoda's name was Bob up until last night, and it's now Roy.
Okay. Dirt Rider's laughing, rolling around.
It's only banter. It's harmless banter. It's fun, isn't it? You know. At the end of the day, while they're picking on Roy, they're leaving everyone else alone.
Well, I mean, you know, I get my fair bit of stick. You know, Jason Hughes, despite the fact he sent me a nice message saying wishing me all the best, he loves to give me stick. So does Ian, and that's what it's all about. It's all about giving each other a bit of a ribbing. It's what makes the world go round.
Sparky gets it continuously regarding eggs, doesn't he?
Oh, I've not even seen that mentioned for at least the past 3 minutes.
Exactly, you know.
You know.
There's water for ducks back.
Yeah.
Snobby plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's got to be something to do with Star Wars.
No, it's the Fifth Amendment. It's the American Amendment.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. What's this here? Mick, you need to watch the bit where Jez Third showed Yoda, defo worth a watch. Have you in stitches?
You're out of order, Hammy.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go and watch it. Simple as that. It is harmless banter, and as I say, it's what makes the world go round. You know, it's what makes the world go round. If you can't pull each other's blooming chain once in a while and watch it flush, then what's the point?
We all know on this type of platform, you need a very, very thick skin.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because anyone's up for it. They come up here like a lobster, giving it all the big one. Yeah, Ronan, that's right, mate. Yeah, I love some stick, definitely, without a doubt. I love being poked with a stick, because the problem is that people tend to poke me with a stick. They don't tend to come up here and try and defend it. That's a problem. Tim the Spanner Man is saying I'm keeping my mouth shut, apparently. But then I did see Tim the Spanner Man do his Snobby impression last night. Come on with a pair of glasses and a bandana on.
Exactly, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. Who we got here?
I mean, he looks like my older brother.
How you doing, Ant? How you doing, buddy?
Hello, gents.
Hello.
How you doing? Nice to see you. Well?
Well, I ain't in jail, so it's a good day.
Yeah, no, you got to give each other a bit of stick, without a doubt. You know, as long as it's all in harmless fun, then I'm up for all of that. Definitely, all day long. All day long. Got to do it. How you doing, Ant? What have you been up to, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just trying to stay out of trouble. New year.
How's that working for you?
It's not.
Oh dear. Well, I went into my local supermarket today to get some bits and pieces, and there's 3 armed police in there, and Riley boy ran off. So I don't know what was up with my little Riley boy, but he was out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a Kinder Egg surprise in his pocket at the time. I've got no idea.
Who knows nowadays?
Yeah. So what are you doing? Just chilling out?
Yeah, I was chilling out. I was actually uploading some pictures, and I was watching y'all. I heard y'all talking. So, but yeah, I'm a firm believer. If you're gonna play on YouTube, you got to be thick-skinned.
Too right.
I think the good thing about YouTube is that there is a channel or a live stream or a video for everyone. No matter what you're into, there is something out there for you. And I run quite a clean stream. I don't tolerate foul language. I don't tolerate sexual innuendos, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But we have a good crack at the same time. If you want something that's a bit more off the hook, then you can find that. It's not.
Oh yeah, trust me, it's there. I found it.
Yeah, it's all there. And sometimes I like a bit of that myself, so I go off to those channels and find them. You know.
Well, my biggest pet peeve is people that keep going to a certain channel reporting it. And my thought is, if you don't like it, don't go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get that, don't you? On normal TV programs, there'd be a program come up. Let's just take a subject. Let's just take paedophilia. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's about a certain person who's probably been arrested. They watch the program and then they report it because it had scenes that upset them in it. You know what I mean? You're watching a program which is titled, only watch it at your discretion, sort of thing. And but that's what people do. People do that.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like our local radio station here had a show on there. A lot of people didn't care for, and it was funny because I was in church one day, and yes, believe it or not, I do step in church every once in a while. but there was a few in there complaining to the pastor about he needs to say something about it, and of course I'm in the back waving my arm like ooh I want to talk. And I told him, I said, look, the good Lord usually bless most of y'all. Y'all got 2 hands, right? I said, if you don't like it, you take one hand, you change the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't find nothing, you take the other hand and you click it off.
Yeah.
Can we have a look at what Rasmo just said? 2 more balls go up the panel. It looked like a box of eggs.
Ramsmo, where is he?
It's about 5 or 6 up.
2 more bald people on a little like a box of eggs. It's rude, isn't it? Oh, was that a timeout? Sorry, Ramsmo. Nick Jones is in the house. Everyone, he's the one with the sign on in the chat. It's Nick's birthday today. Happy birthday, Nick boy! Many happy returns.
Yep. Happy birthday, Nick.
Are you celebrating, Nick?
I've been celebrating all day.
Is that via intravenous drip?
Yeah.
Good man. So how old are you, Nick?
21. I'm 21 twice.
I said, how old are you? Not how much do you weigh?
He's 42.
Yep. 42.
Many happy returns.
Yeah, happy birthday, Nick.
It's not happy for me, mate. He's broke.
Go on.
Yeah. My mate's broke his leg.
How's he done that?
You didn't push him down the steps.
You did what?
I went go-karting and he was in the way and I crashed into him.
Well, at least it wasn't like the last time pushing them down the steps.
You're 42. You're 42 years old, Nick. You shouldn't be on a go-kart at your age, should you?
Yeah.
Hey, okay. I'm gonna tell you, like I told that last guy, I lift the cushion up on the seat. There was no age restriction on it.
I was quite surprised I could fit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Did you put a car seat on it?
Well, be like me when you get off that pedal has that nice little bend to it.
Yeah. With my fat ass on it, would have been all. Happy birthday, Nick. 42 inches waist. Laugh out loud.
Oh,
that Rambo is not holding back
waist. Yeah, and the rest.
He's on full mic, man.
He's not holding back, Snob, is he?
No, full throttle.
Yeah, full
just
tilt.
the way I like it.
Yeah. I just sold the last go kart I worked on. My neighbors are probably glad I took a one-seater and put a engine on it from a 250 dirt bike.
Did it go okay?
Oh yeah. But I learned real fast. I realized after the first run to weld a roll cage on it.
Oh, there he is! Happy birthday, Nick! My lord, don't often turn the camera on. We must be privileged.
Uh-oh.
That's Nick.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. No, I had an old Kawasaki 250 dirt bike, and I decided to put the motor on the go-kart. It did have a little 5-horse.
Yeah, I mean, I learned very early on that me and dirt bikes don't go together. Tend to end up in A&E.
Yeah, well, it don't go too good on a go-kart without a roll cage either, because the first jump I hit, just say I went airborne, caught a little bit too much air, and landed on my back and my neck. So it wasn't
I'm much the same. The last time I went on a bike, we used to have a magazine over here. Snobby will probably remember. It was called the Portobello, which is a bit like a free magazine.
Yeah.
Portobello mag. So you could go in there and you could pick up stuff secondhand for cheap. And I picked up a TS50 road bike, which I turned into a dirt bike. And it was me on the front, mate on the back, and my mate on the back rack of that, all thumping through the woods like you do.
Yeah.
And we found this massive clearing up in the woods, and it had these really tall plants in it. The stems were like that thick, and they had these big white heads on them.
Poisonous, they are.
Well, yeah, I'll get to that. And
right, mate, I'm going to take off. I've had a long evening.
I'll tell you something, Sparky. It's been thoroughly enjoyable. You have not stopped since the minute you come up here, giving it all that. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Right, Spark. Thanks for coming up, mate. Look after yourself. Say
I'm going to sort the missus out. Take it easy. Have a good night, you lot.
Yeah, bye-bye, mate. Yeah, bye-bye. I'll run the link for you. Anyone else wants to come on up? So, we found this big clearing up in the woods, and we thought, well, there's about 4 acres here. We'll have a drive around it, and we're flatting this lot. So, we were typical young lads, toned, 6-pack. We had all that going. I had long blonde hair, and all I had on was a pair of low-cut Californian shorts, because that was in, and a pair of hobnail boots. Anyway, we traipsed up the wood, did about two tanks of fuel, flattened most of this white stuff, and went back home. Anyway, the next day I woke up, and I was covered head to toe in these big, watery blisters like that, absolutely smothered, and they were about an inch higher in the skin.
Yeah.
So I woke up thinking I got Ebola or something like that.
Yeah.
So I put some clothes on, shot down my mate's house, banged on his door. He answers. I went, "You as well? You've got it." So I went down my other mate's house, and he got it, and also went down the doctors. And my doctors didn't have a clue what it was, not a clue. So they sent us to bloody A&E. via ambulance, and it turned out it was giant hogweed, which is poisonous between the months of May and June, and it's for little tiny hairs on the stems. They're barbed.
Yeah.
And when they get into your skin, the sun reflects off them, and it creates these blisters. And we flattened about 3.5 acres of this stuff.
Yeah.
And we were absolutely smothered. You couldn't pop the blisters, and they just fill up with liquid. We had to wait about 3 months for it to go down. I looked like something out of an Action Man film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after that, I sold a dirt bike, and I never got on one since.
Yeah, and your luck's like mine. When you went through it, you probably went right through it in its prime.
Oh yeah, flat out. Dirt Rider says, "Is that when you had hair, Mick?" Yes, I had hair. I still got some. So yeah, I don't tend to muck about them anymore because I end up getting hurt. You know, it ain't worth doing. A friend of mine, he's a big biker. He's into performance bike. And I don't know what bike he bought. I think it was something called a Shadow, might be. I don't know. It was classified as one of the fastest road bikes in Britain at the time. And he had that a week and he sold it. He said, if I carry on with that, he's going to end up just killing myself. If he don't want to ride a bike no more, then me neither.
Yeah, that sounds like over here it was a few years back. Honda came out with the Honda Hurricane, and it was my uncle bought one of the first ones that come out, and it was me and him on it. He was driving, I was on the back. He's about, at the time, he was probably about 260, 270, and I was about 380 at the time. And we was on that bike on I-10 interstate doing 168.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
yeah. You've only got to hit one. Oh, Roy's the boys turned up. How you doing, Roy? Nice to see you.
And
you've only got to hit one bump at that speed, and you're coming.
You're done. Yeah. Well, it's not that. And the sad thing is, my uncle was white as a sheet when we stopped, and he looked at me. And he says, "Nephew," he said, "I still had throttle left." He said, "But at 168, the front end started." He's like, "Oh, no, shut it down."
I can remember a bloke where I used to live years ago. He had a big 750 dirt bike, and it was his pride and joy.
Yeah,
and he had to sell it, obviously just to pay the bills, I suppose. So this fella turned up, just a t-shirt, pair of shorts, and pair of boots on. And I can remember, as a young lad, I can remember him saying, just go a bit easy. It's a bit pokey, so just go a bit easy.
Right.
And this bloke, he got on it. He just about had the weight enough just to kick it over. And he hit the gas and dumped the clutch on it, and it went straight up in the air like a rocket. And it dragged him halfway up the garages, up the storage facility. Yeah. Took about three layers of skin off, smashed the bike to bits, and said, "Yeah, I'll have it." You know, he needed a blooming checkup from the neck up.
Yeah, well, that's just like our Dodge dealership where I used to live, not here, but where I used to live up in Indiana. When they first come out with the Dodge Demon, a guy went up there to test drive it. Him and one of the guys that worked there, got in the car and went down the road, and he didn't even make it 6 blocks, and he totaled out 9 cars.
Really?
Yeah. So after that, they wouldn't even they would have to take you to a track and let you drive on that, because they didn't want nobody test driving them on the street. Because the fact is, the guy was test driving. He didn't even own the car, so the dealer was responsible for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a big lawsuit and everything.
They've actually got nothing down my way at all.
Yeah.
But you can do that. Over in the States, it's very, very, very different. But over here, there's not a lot like that. You can go around Goodwood racetrack, but you can't give it the beans.
Right.
It's all sort of supervised. What's that song?
That's him. That's Yoda.
I do it for Rasmo. Rasmo put me up to it.
I do know that there's lots of people around here that go to these sort of these places, and they go in their pride and joy, and they're coming back on wrecking trucks because they're mainly young lads.
Yeah, well, we got a track like that here in Lake Charles at Chenault Air Force Base. They actually have an old strip they don't use no more, and they let you got to sign a thing of paperwork like this. You know, basically saying you're racing, you're on your own. We ain't responsible for you dying or killing somebody else. But I've seen guys go down there with, like you said, the pride and joys, and they come out with it on the back of a flatbed.
Yeah, and some of these things are like the old vintage style. What we have over here, we have Escort Cosworths and Sierra Cosworths, which have been around for quite a few years now, and they're renowned for being quite fast cars. But of course, you're talking about 1980s technology as well.
Yeah,
and like I say, they take a corner wrong and they end up in the trees. But you still can't give it the beans. You really can't give it the flat out stuff. So you got to go banger racing or circuit racing for that.
Yeah.
And what's that say about a fake account? Yeah, it's fake, Jason. What's fake? Oh, it's a fake Yoda. I don't know what's going on here about Yoda. What's going on?
Oh, I'll put up it by Rasmo. Rasmo made me do it.
It's a hidden joke.
Hello, Donna.
I'll put the link out in case anyone else wants it.
He said hello. Yeah.
What's she doing? She cleaning her ears out.
Yeah. Her allergies been bothering her. She's already got. She's legally deaf already. So yeah. When she gets a slight allergy attack, what little hearing she has goes whoop.
I was in my local bike shop. Guy picked up a brand spanking new Ducati 916, which I'm assuming is big. Pulled away. Everyone watching. He gave it the beans, flipped it, hit a lorry going the other way in less than 2 minutes. There you go. That would be me. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine had a Ducati. Is it a Ducati Monster? Is that such a thing?
There's some terrible people out there, aren't there?
A Ducati Monster.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. I might be wrong. Let us know in the chat if a Ducati Monster is something. I seem to remember that word. A friend of mine had one, and he was a bodybuilder, and he was a big lad.
Yeah.
And he said even in third gear he couldn't keep the front end down. He had to lean on the fuel tank to keep the front end down.
Yeah. Well, that's like a lot of people I know that I went to school with, and 2 of them ended up dead, and 1 ended up crippled in a wheelchair. They all decided they want to become bike riders. Well, you know as well as me, because I don't know about you, but my very first bike I started off with was a little 250.
Okay.
And I rode on that for the longest time before I upgraded to the 6, and from the 6 to the 11. You know what I'm saying? And I'm basically talking CC wise. Going from a 250 CC to 1100 CC. I did that within in like an 8-year period of time. But I see some of these guys hardly ever been on a bike themselves, and they'll go out and buy the biggest CC bike they can buy. And like you said, they get on there and pop the clutch on it, and next thing you know, the bike's shooting off in the sky, and they're laid back, dragging, they're hanging with their foot or something.
Yeah, I've got 2 seconds, and I've got a fake account there.
Yeah, okay.
That's not Roy's a boy. There's no content on that channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll get that.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone. Yeah, it's not the same account.
That's strange, isn't it? That's what I was saying. That's just what I was saying. Very strange.
That's his old emblem. That's not his new one, and there's no content on the channel. It's not him.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was just checking out.
You get that's nothing. And the other week I had a bloke on here called Merv, and he was on a friend of mine's channel, and they were talking about car fixing and what have you. And he turned up with this. Oh man, it was a mullet. It was a mullet. It was proper.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I've got a mullet." And next thing, he stood up, pulled his cacks down, and showed everyone what he had between his legs. And I went live about half hour later, and he come on here, and he was in the basement. They got rid of him in the chat, and in the basement, he was doing all types of manner of things. And if he went to church, he'd burn in hell for what he was doing on there. I tell you, it was bad.
Well, I know we changed our tactic because used to, like on Ken's and Gaffa and Susan's panel, we'd make people show their face downstairs regardless if they're going to stay on or not.
That's what I do.
But you got to be careful. We ask them to do something when they're showing their face, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they have some that have gotten smart to record video and play it down there like that's the person there. And when you pop it up, next thing you know, like say you got someone showing his junk, showing his ass, his butt, or showing porn. So we bring them up. We say, well, if you want up on camera, while you're in the basement, show me your face, and we'll say, show me one finger, wave at me, pick your nose, rub your nose, something. Yeah.
I don't tend to get a lot of issues. I've got quite a few mods in here, which are my usual listeners or what have you.
Right. Well, I'm just saying they're trying to get slick.
Well, this fella, Merv, he wasn't worried. He showed his face on camera, and he was getting down, he was getting naked, and he was doing all sorts of stuff with his laptop that he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
But when he wasn't looking and he was on his phone, I blew him up on the screen and blew him up, so I had a good shot of his face. So he was over in the States.
Well, even new people, we've tell them, we've had people ask, hey, can we come up on panel in the chat? And we'll say, look, hang out a few deals, let us get to know you. We're not just going to bring you right up. We're just, we done learned our lessons of just bringing new people up. So like you said, some of them have no problem showing their face.
Little Riley boy and Katie would like to say good night, everyone. Thank you very much for Riley boy and Kate for popping in. Nice to see you. No night now.
No night.
Yeah. It was Vernon. That's right, Ramsmo. He was cool. He hasn't been back since, which is a shame because he did have one hell of a mullet. It was a full mullet.
Yeah.
But I went on someone's stream a little while ago. I shan't name him, but I dare say lots of people know who he is. And he went live, and I'm not joking you. Within 3 minutes of him going live, he had about 40 trolls come on in.
Yeah,
he got absolutely smashed. But they were waiting for him. But I don't tend to have a lot of issues. But that Vernon, he was someone else because he managed to do some kind of Robotnik channels, and as soon as you were timing him out, he was coming back, and it took me and the mods about 15 minutes to get rid of him.
Yeah,
he was quite something, but he ain't been back since. And also this other thing now you can do on StreamYards where you have to authenticate your channel as well. That works as well quite well.
Yeah, before they even come up, right?
Yeah, that works quite well. You got to put your channel in there and authenticate it so you can trace them.
Oh yeah. Like I said, we do all that, but we also too, like I said, if they come in the bottom, and we'll tell them turn the camera on, and we'll ask them to do something right then and there. That way, we know it's not a pre-recording of another channel.
Yeah. And you got to be careful, wouldn't you? Because someone can easily put a little video up in front of the camera when they're in the basement. Because what's going to happen is people, like I say, give us a little wave or something like that. So then people are going to start doing this, videoing me doing a little wave. And it really looks convincing down below.
You got to change it. That's why we always change it. It's not always the same. Sometimes I'll say wave. Sometimes I'll say rub your nose or rub the left ear, right ear. Something. You got to change it up. It's kind of like your password that you're by. Believe it or not. I used to tell people as an IT guy. They used to ask me if I ever been hacked, and I told them no, and I said, and the main reason is not just because of software. On all my accounts, my passwords are different, and I change them every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it sounds like a pain in the rectum, which it is, but I change my password for 2 weeks, and it might be subtle, but something gets changed.
My password is pretty good because it's got lots of different bits in it. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to remember, actually. But
you didn't hear him. Micks said hi too, but she was
you're doing that
fixing your hair. She's like, "Oh, that's snobby." Now
I have the same problem.
He said he's got a good cleaner for you. He's got a good cleaner for you. You put a couple Q-tips on there and get some speed.
I can't hear around this.
I know. I already told him.
Two boys walked into a building. You thought one of them noticed it. Yeah, that's a good one.
I need to add here.
I'll put the link down. You guys seem to be very, very shy tonight. I don't know what's going on with you. The link is in the chat. Feel free to come on up.
Do you mind if I show anything on your camera? Off my phone.
After a lot of.
Do you mind if I show anything off my phone? It's like, it's only banter.
Yeah, you show whatever you like, as long as it ain't porn.
Oh no, I would never do that. Jeez.
Oh, wicked. Stop.
It's Rasmo. It's Rasmo. He makes me do it.
Oh, look at the bruises on his wrist. He's got bruises on his wrist, man.
It's Rasmo. If it wasn't for Rasmo in the chat, I would never do it. He puts me up to it.
Mick, have you had many stalkers since you revealed your address on the last vid? No. To be fair, it's my channel isn't that size, so at the moment I'm not really concerned. The worst thing they're going to do is send something to my house, and if they want to send me free carpet samples, and that's all right, it's up to them. To be fair, if they send me enough carpet samples, I could probably recarpet the shed, so I'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to do that all the time. People said, "Man, you don't worry about that." And I said, "No, I tell them my address." I was like, "I got plenty of bullets."
Yeah, I over here in the UK, that's not a good thing over here.
I know. But the thing is too, I've already been swatted once, and all it cost me is me and the wife had to go out on the front porch as one of them passed down the road and wave at them, let them know we was okay.
Yeah,
because as soon as the person that called them, I grew up with all the cops. They all know me. I went to high school, went to service with them, so they all know me. So they're like, "No, that's not Anthony." And they said, he called me up. He said, "Look, some character just tried to have you swatted." He says, "Just to cover my butt and the paperwork," he said, "I'm going to send a unit down the road. You and the wife stand on the porch and wave at them. Let them know you're both still alive, and everything's okay." Yeah. Which I'm glad, because I've seen some people have to go through some horrible crap, going outside with their hands up, kids being, house being searched and the whole works.
Yeah, I had it once. This is going back years, and my ex partner.
And just a quick note to let you know, they did catch the guy, and he got 10 years.
Good. Oh, good.
Now they changed the law. They changed the law here after that one 15-year-old kid got shot in the chest for having nothing but a video controller in his hand. Of course, that went both ways. He made a stupid move and had an itchy trigger finger cop. But the thing is, after that, they passed a new deal not long ago. It's mandatory 30 years.
Yeah.
In this state, if you get caught swatting somebody, it's a mandatory 30 years. And like the local numbers because a lot of them don't call the 911 number because they know it can be traced. So they try to call the police station in your area local. Well, our systems are all run through the 911 now.
Well, so I had an issue going back some years. An ex partner of mine who turned out to be a cheating bitch. She did the dirty, and that was it. And I text her sister, who I was very pally with, saying, "I won't be around anymore. Look after you," and all this sort of stuff.
Right.
Anyway, they misread it and thought I was up on the hills about to do something with my shot. I got shotguns.
Oh, they thought you were going to take yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So they rang up the old bill, and they had half of Sussex County Police looking for me. And when I turned up at my old man's house, I had 4 armed response police units over the top of the hedge, giving it all the big one with the rifles. And then they made me lay on the floor and face down, and then my dad come out, and my dad's a bit of a bolshy bugger. I think that's where I get it from.
Yeah.
He come out giving it some, so he was put down to the floor quite swiftly as well.
Yeah.
And they said, "Where's your guns?" I said, "Well, they're locked up indoors in the cabinet, locked up, and all the rest of it. I don't know what the problem is." And they just had to investigate it, and I had 2 helicopters, about 15 police cars, 3 armored response vehicles.
Yeah,
it was a bad day.
Well, Well, it's like the kid that got shot. I always tell people, look, yeah, it might be a pain in their butt, but they have a job and they got to do it. The best thing to do is do what they say, go along, and then after it's done, then you can call them a bunch of bloody,
Oh yeah. I've had it because I do a lot of vermin shooting as well.
Yeah.
And I've had it before where you've had what we call townies go out for a walk in the countryside on a Sunday, and they hear gunshots, so they ring the police up. Next thing you know, you've got a police car or a helicopter come down, land in the field, make you come out of your hide, take your gun apart, lay on the floor, and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
You get that quite often as well. Where people just don't know the rules of a countryside, which is quite normal to have guns going off.
Oh yeah. We just had an incident in my neighborhood of that. They bought some land not that far down from me and built these 2 big nice homes, which that's fine and dandy. But they come out in the middle of the countryside, cows, pigs, chickens, sheep, whatever. And the first thing they do, they go to city council and complain about the smell. You bought land in the middle of cattle country, and now you're going to complain about the smell. You need to move.
Well, I can sort of beat that. There's where I used to belong to a big shooting estate years ago.
Yeah.
We used to shoot driven pheasants, and this house had been up for sale for a little while, and it was a sought after property. It was right in the countryside, no neighbours, right in a valley, and eventually this family from London moved on down, and in the summertime, and come the winter time, what they didn't know was their house was actually right in the landing zone of where the pheasants get shot and full. And one Saturday morning, about half past 9, 9:45, the woman was outside hanging her washing out, and then it started raining pheasants. And I'm talking, this was a big estate, and 2,000 pheasants were getting shot on each drive. And she just had pheasants falling down all around her, and she was actually an anti-hunting activist. And she bought a house right in the middle of a game shooting estate.
Right.
She wasn't there very long. She wasn't there very long at all.
Well, my thing, I always tell people, I said, where'd you come from? The city. Why did you leave the city? And they tell you, and I go, exactly, leave it in the city.
Yeah, well, they have a saying. They have a saying down here in the south, and that's keep the bull stuff in Parliament and leave the bull stuff in the fields.
Right. Yep.
But it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
The best cooperative first ask question. Yeah, exactly that. Ask first. Yeah. Where was that one? So someone just come in and say hi. Who was that? That chat's. Oh yeah, Stephen. Stephen, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. It's Star Wars tonight. So is there a theme tonight I'm missing out on?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm gonna have to watch your last stream.
I think it was. If you go back at least to the last half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. I think it was. But it's all I'm hoping it's going to bring Roy up. I'm hoping it's going to bring him out. He didn't show last night. He hasn't showed tonight yet.
No, he was in your chat last night.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Yep.
You know what? I didn't even check to see whether it is a fake account or not.
He was in there last night. I said hello to him last night. He was in there last night.
Really?
Yeah, I see him.
Obviously,
private ownership of handguns is banned in the UK, and it's 18-month prison sentence if you're caught with one.
Well, that's for now, anyway.
But it is. There's the UK just say that there is no logical reason why you would have one.
Right.
It's as simple as that. And I think to a certain degree, without getting into gun law, because we all know that the United States is different to us because of your amendments, what have you. You can't just mow someone down if you feel threatened. You can't do that. In fact, if you get burgled and someone's in your house, they have more rights than you.
Yeah.
It's just the way we are. But at the moment, there's no requirement to proof of use with a smooth bore shotgun, which is what I use.
Right.
You don't have to have proof, but I think that's coming. If you don't have land to shoot on, then you don't need a gun. That's what they're trying to say.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I find that fair, especially in a city dwelling where you got cops on every corner. That's a whole different story. But where I live out in the rural area, it take for a proper cop, it takes them 40 to 45 minutes to get here.
Well, we had the same sort of issue over here. A bloke, I think his name was Peter Martin. I might be wrong. It might be Paul.
Yeah.
He was a farmer, and he was being regularly burglarized by traveling community.
Right.
Stuff was going missing on a weekly basis. So anyway, he informed the police, did all what he should have done, and it continued happening. A man was losing quad bikes and what have you. Then they broke into his house.
Yeah.
One
well,
night.
Like I said, a lot of the laws here we fight, and the reason we fight them is not because we think everybody should be able to just carry a gun and do what they want when they want. The problem is I can't see taking guns from everybody, because the fact is, I tell people there's a reason they call them criminals. They don't follow the laws.
No,
and you're not going to stop them.
Exactly that. But these traveling boys broke into this man's house.
Yeah.
And he had his wife there. So he put 2 down the barrel, and he sent 2 down the stairs.
Yep.
And he ended up killing one of his people, I believe. And he got the standard 18 months prison sentence off the hip, because someone had broke into his house, and he didn't know if they were tooled up or nothing.
Yeah.
And I think the whole country went crazy. And can you not use the word subs in the chat, please, Partnest? Can someone delete that comment for me? The whole country was up in arms about it. In the end, they released him after about a month. And it turns out that he should never have had a loaded shotgun in his house, and he lives on a farm where he has the shooting rights to have his gun.
Yeah. See, to me, that just, once they're in your house, all bets are off. I mean, that's why I tell people when you come to the United States, be careful where you travel, because each state's different. Like where I'm at, it's open carry, it's open constitution. Also, we have stand your ground laws, and we also have castle laws.
Yeah.
So legally, I don't have to wait for you to come in the house. If you step a toe across my property line and you do it in a threatening manner, and I feel threatened, I can drop you.
Yeah. I mean, I know of a case up in London where a burglar was trying to get into a house. He fell through a skylight onto a sink setup, and he fell onto a carving knife and stabbed himself with a carving knife. He actually sued the woman because he got.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of people stepping through a rotted porch trying to rob the place, broke their foot, and sued the owner.
Yeah, crazy. Yes, Pete, I do know Amberley Castle. Amberley Castle is no more than about 15 minutes from my house, buddy.
Yeah.
Tim Martin, I think that's the one. Tim Martin. Issue was that he shot them in the back as they were leaving the house rather than entering. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to shoot anybody in the back, because if they're fleeing, they're fleeing. But
the thing is, if you wake up, if you wake up and someone's running out your house, the first question I have is who else is in the house?
Right.
And why is he running out? Is he running out to go and get something and come back? You don't know, do you? You just don't know.
No.
All I know is that I've got several guns in my house, which are all above board and legal, and I would protect my family with everything I've got. That's bottom line. I'd face the music all day long. That's what it is. But over where you guys are, it does seem a little bit more not laxed, because you have to have a license, right? Which is good, but the laws are very, very different. Very, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy bought land next to a garbage dump, moved into, then he complained about the smell. Yeah, that's about right. I used to work on a farm, and they complained about the compost, and they even got the local council to come down and spray perfume on the compost. Yeah.
Out there with older brands, with older brands.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah, I tried that.
Yeah, but look at the areas in the UK where a private business has been able to go around and collect like waste, like all the garden waste and every type of waste, and have a huge mountain of it, yeah, and then just shut the gates and walk away from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes on because there's money involved.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I tell people a third of the time you look in something real deep, and all it is about this right here.
Money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Someone just said if you rang the police first, only if you ring the police first. I disagree. You can't. You are not allowed to have a loaded gun in your house. You can have the gun and the cartridges or the bullets if you've got rifles. You are not allowed to stoke that up in your own house in the UK. It cannot be live.
Wow.
Not allowed to.
Yeah, they were slowly trying to do that here, but it didn't work out too good for them.
Well,
there's a few states that were going around confiscating, and they gotten some real deep crap with the Supreme Court, and they had to give it all back plus pay restitution to everybody they took their guns from them.
Damon Hill bought a house by a Pheasant Drive. Landowner asked, okay, if he could pick the shot birds up. He said, no, leave them. So after the drive, he would have 30 or 40 birds on his lawn. The law states if you shoot a bird, shoot any game, you are allowed to retrieve it from any property as long as you are only retrieving the game. You have the right to collect it. That's what the law states. And this is the thing in the UK. We're up on our laws, so they put the laws in place, and we know them. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
We've had it before. When I've been shooting stuff, and a bird's dropped into someone's garden. You're allowed to go in there and go and get it.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is here. If you own the property,
my chat is really.
Yeah. Yeah, if you own your property, you have what they call squatters' rights. You can hunt to feed yourself, as long as you're not doing it for sport. And now, like you said, if it does leave your property, you are allowed to trail it, especially like a deer if you shot it and you didn't drop it. You know.
Yeah. You have the right. You have the right to hunt it down and go and get it. Yeah.
Now the only stipulation is that, like, if you're off your land, you're not allowed to shoot within 3,000 feet of any dwelling.
Yeah, we can shoot 50 feet from any footpath in the opposite direction, and 35 feet from any main road in the opposite direction.
Right.
It doesn't state about how far you have to be away from a premises, but I'm guessing it's about half a mile.
Right. I know you got to be off a main road. If they catch you shooting from a main road, you're in deep crap.
Well, the biggest problem we have over here is the people who use the big rifles, sort of like the treble 250s, on open ticket. You got to have the land to shoot that. Because that bullet's going 3/4 of a mile plus, and that's accurate up to about 1.25 miles.
Yep.
And if you get 3 or 4 of them rifles on the same bit of land, then it don't take long before someone's going to get shot.
Yeah.
It's not like over where you guys are. You could go out for a week on a walkabout and not see no one in some places of the States.
Yeah.
My dog likes the taste of a burglar. Yeah.
Because I go 2 streets over, and my friend's land there. It starts there, and he owns all 800 acres.
Really?
Yeah, you got to go through 800 acres of woods to get to his house.
I'm not joking. They did. They come down with perfume, and they were spraying the compost with knapsack sprayers full of scented stuff, and they were spraying this stuff. And what we didn't get is that it's cooking on the inside out. So you got to turn this stuff over.
Yeah, the methane gas is still going to ooze out.
Yeah. We had that with our local gun club, bought a house next door to them and complained about the noise. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
How many mowers, Mick? Laugh out loud. I have 12 at 15, 16, that'd be 17. I've got about 25 to 30 mowers in stock at the moment in different parts of open heart surgery at the minute. And I've also got 2 strimmers, 1 generator, 2 or 3 hedge cutters. No, that's about my lot at the minute. It's not too bad. Can't even travel with a loaded gun. You can't even travel with a loaded gun magazine as it's classified as loaded. That's correct. In fact, the law states that you should be, if you're traveling, then your gun should be in one part of the car and your ammo should be in the other. So what they recommend is
the only stipulation we have, you can't have it chambered. It can be the magazine can be full, put in the gun, the whole works, but you can't have one in the chamber. That's it.
Yeah, over here they recommend that you put your guns in the boot or the trunk,
right,
and your ammo on the back seat or in a safe
glove box or something. Like that. Yeah.
But I know that my gamekeeper years ago, years and years ago, my gamekeeper had a big Swarovski rifle, which is effectively is a sniper rifle,
right.
And we used to use it for shooting foxes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't uncommon for him to be on the estate. The rifle would be in the front of his truck, because in the event he'd pull up somewhere, see a fox, he can just jump out and shoot it.
Yeah.
But I can remember one day he had a brand spanking new Nissan Nevada crew cab pickup, brand new, and he had his rifle in the front seat, and he bent down to get something out of the footwell of the truck, and his sleeve caught the trigger. The safety was off, and it went off. It blew all his windows out, and the bullet went straight through the back seat, through the front seat, through the back seat, and out through the back of the roof. Blew it to pieces. Brand spanking new, £36,000 truck, brand spanking new. Yeah, and he blew it up. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Well, here what it is, they allow you to conceal carry, and you can conceal it in your car, but they basically want 3 motions to be able to fire. In other words, opening up where it's at, getting it, and then hammering it back. That's three actions.
Yeah.
That way,
makes sense.
That way, if you are trying to be an idiot and a cop standing there and you reach for it, that's the whole thing. Give them time to put a bullet in you. Yeah.
Well, it sort of makes sense for those that aren't following the rules,
Right.
But as I say, the law here for indoors, you have to have your guns locked up in a special specialist cabinet with no hinges, 2 locks bolted to the wall, all that sort of good stuff. Keys must be hidden away. No restrictions for your ammunition at all, apart from FAC, which is your rifles. You must keep a register of how many you've got, how many you've used. You've got to keep a register. But for smoothbore, for cartridges, you can have 1,000 cartridges under your bed, and that's fine.
Right.
The overheating lawnmower, Mick, is it running too lean? No, it's not. It's literally it runs fine, but after about 10 minutes of running, it starts to play up, and the engine is so goddamn hot. It's not the incorrect spark plug, mate. No, I think it could be a head issue, or the cylinder is actually binding. That's what I think it is. I might get it in at some point and take the head off it and see what the head's doing.
Yeah.
I'm from New Zealand. Never had to use a gun, and no reason to have one. Exactly that. Different countries and different parts of the world, that's what it is. But people don't play by the rules, and it's the same over here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
The game of play changes the nearer you get to London. If you get into London, there's people carrying. You know what I mean? Where I live, it's not so much an issue. You might get stabbed over here, but
I got neighbors that's never owned a gun in their life, but they're glad that someone in the neighborhood does.
Yeah. Extreme way to get aircon. What's that all about? I have no idea. Probably the best thing that can happen to a Nevada. I had a Nevada. Mine wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, I sold mine, and the bloke who bought it off of me, funny enough, belonged to the same shooting state I used to shoot on, and he put the wrong tyres on it. He put slightly smaller tyres on the front, and because it's permanent four-wheel drive, after about 3 weeks of driving around with different size tyres, it blew the axles up.
In fact, 2 years ago, my neighbor lives on the other end behind me on my other end of my property on the other street. He just just middle of last year bought 3 of my guns from me, and he used to swear up and down that guns were useless and stuff. And unfortunately, he got broke into one night. He got pistol whipped, and his wife got raped.
Really?
And then on top of that, she committed suicide because she couldn't live with the,
couldn't live with it.
Right.
Yeah, crazy.
But now he's a firm believer in owning guns.
Well, yeah, some people are. I mean, I do feel safer having what I got in my house. I do feel safer. But at the same time, it poses the risk. If you've got a gun in the house.
Well, the thing is, you got to be a responsible person. You can't just own a gun.
No, exactly that.
Yeah.
Ramsmo says, how often do you get police checked, Mick? So I get police checked every time my license expires.
Yep.
But they do a standard come round, check your guns, serial numbers, cabinet, and what have it, and do the normal. Yep. Do you hear voices in your head sort of chat?
Yeah. Don't you love that chat?
Yeah, especially when they say, "Do you hear voices?" and you go, "Who said that?" Because generally, the firearms officers don't have a sense of humor.
No. That's the reason they have their job. They have no sense of humor.
But funnily enough, down this neck of the woods, it always used to be firearms officer, but I got a phone call when my license was due to expire from the firearms officer to say you got to do it.
Yeah.
So I reapplied for my license and got it, and then I had a phone call about 8:15 in the morning from a number I didn't recognise. I don't normally answer those phone calls, but I thought 8:30 in the morning is a bit weird. So I answered it, and it was a policeman. He said, "We'll be around in 10 minutes to check your guns." That's all he said.
Yeah.
It's okay. So I didn't argue. The guns are ready, and when they pulled up with a BMW police 4x4. With a blue bonnet, which means armed response, and two 6'6" fellas jumped out with sidearms and tasers and what have you, and walked up to the door. My neighbour come out, worried, looked like a ghost. Who are they here for? So they're here for me, ain't they? And then I got guns. So it's only a gun check, and I said to I don't really sort of like the idea of two people turning up in a car that looks like a big fluorescent jacket.
Yeah.
With two coppers getting out of it, all armed to a teeth. Because down this neck of the woods, you don't see that very often.
Right.
But now they're handing over the license checking or farming it out to armed response policemen as well over here. But the police can knock on your door anytime they like. I think up till 10:30 at night. Just knock on the door and say, "Check, come do a check." And I've had that before.
Oh yeah, especially when someone got shot. It's like here, someone gets shot in the area, and they know you have that particular gun. They're gonna come check it.
Yeah. Well, one of my guns actually hasn't got a number on it. It's a Webley and Scott 410 bolt action, and it was made in 1942 and freezing to death. Back in them days, they never used to put a number on it until it got to a gun dealer.
Right.
So the police weren't happy with that about 10 years ago, and they wanted me to put a number on it. And I said, "No, I'm not putting a number on it because the gun shouldn't have one on it."
It takes the value of the antique of it. Yeah.
Exactly that. So they've just put a stamp number on it, so to speak, but it's not marked the gun at all. So they're happy with that.
Yeah, I have a few guns in the house. They're all mastic guns. One's got caulking in it. One's got mastic. One's got grip feel. I use them on a regular basis. I've even got one that's like a gasket sealer. It's a black stuff. Very, very strong stuff it is.
You got a license for that?
Only from Wickses.
In other words, Snobby's trying to say if he catches you robbing his garage, he's going to cork you up where you constipated for the next 10 years.
Yeah. that grip feel was some serious stuff.
Well, no, I mean, with the guns in the UK, I mean, you've either got one or you haven't. I haven't, and the saying in the UK: if you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Yeah.
If you live by the knife, you die by the knife. So I don't have nothing.
Someone, Pete Frown has just said super chat. I've had a super chat. I have, yeah. I've had a found it buried has given me a $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you very much for that. Found and buried. Sorry I missed it. I was watching the chat as best I can, but it doesn't show up on my StreamYard for some reason.
No, it doesn't.
My StreamYard has been jumping. Cheers, Nick. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, you see it. You see it's on, right? It's downloading right now. Oh, he's mad. Well, that's the brakes. I got me a new 70-inch TV today.
Oh, nice.
70-inch TV. Very nice.
Yeah. I seen him setting it up, and I said, "What's wrong?" He's about ready to kick the screen, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" I said, "What's wrong with it?" He said, "Oh, this piece of crap. It comes on, goes off, comes on." I said, "Well, what'd you do?" He said, "Well, I bought a new one. I'm getting ready to bust this one up." I said, "Oh no, you're not. I'll take it." He said, "Hell, take it." So I brought it over here, and I got to looking. He's got one of them little fireplaces, the fake ones, and it's got the TV stand on the top.
Yeah.
We had the TV and all that plugged up, but he had that pushed up against it to where the cord was coming out of the wall like that with the deal bent at a 90 degree. Well, you know what eventually happened, right?
Uh-huh.
The wire broke.
Yeah.
And it would cool off, make contact, you turn it on, it'd warm up, it'd pull away. So I came in here, cut the end, put a new cord, new end on it, plug it up. It works fine.
Lovely job.
It's 8 months old.
My brother-in-law's Nevada snapped in two. Nissan replaced the second and third of the chassis. Yeah, they were renowned for that. I had the 02 one, which weren't as bad, but Nissans, they do tend to snap in half.
Yeah.
Tommy says, how far do you travel for a mower? It depends on the mower. If the mower is going to be a good return item, I'll travel a distance for it. But generally within 30 to 40 miles is where I travel for mowers. I tend to pick them up in a lot. I've
gotten 7 mowers in the last 2 months, and I hadn't had to go anywhere because they were dropped off in my driveway.
Yeah, I get a lot of that. But what I tend to do is I'll make a deal with someone and say keep it for a week or 2 weeks, and I'll find them in the area and I'll go fishing in an area. And I travel about 40 miles and I come back about 4 or 5. But if you get a nice Hater 56 Pro or HRX 476, I'll travel 50, 60 miles for that. If it's
easy. Yeah.
I'm from Auckland and now living in the UK. The only guns I have in my house is my son's Nerfs. Nerf gun. but in the UK, people don't have them, and you'll be surprised.
Yeah,
you'll be surprised. Where I used to live, it wasn't a rough area, but it certainly weren't the best. When I used to go shooting, I used to get up about 4:30 in the morning and go and put my guns in the car before anyone else was awake. And then I'll go off shooting and I'll leave them in the car locked up. And then when it got dark again, I'll bring them back in, because it's a bit like when you first move into a new house, isn't it? You get your van pulls up and you got your 70-inch TV. Most people cut
you broadcast it.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I don't want to
broadcast. That's the same way around here. But people are so relaxed, and I tell them, and then when something happens, I'm go, well, I knew it was going to happen. They say, why? I said, because when you bought it, you brought the box and set it next to the street by the garbage can broadcasting. I just bought a brand new TV. I just bought a brand new computer.
Yeah, exactly. What's this say? You can imagine Riley 2 times police guys turning up. Well, Riley boy saw the armed police. He shot upstairs. Riley boy was gone. He wasn't having none of that. But I say they were 6'6". They were big boys. I tell you. Tom lives in Birmingham. My last time my license was renewed, I had firearms officers also checked serials, etc. Drinking tea for 10 minutes before. Just a member of police staff. Before that, it can't be a member of police. It has to be. That was naughty. It can't be a policeman. It has to be a firearms officer or armed response. Because if the guns are not, number one, if the guns are not legal, they can't take them away, and only a person with a firearms license can open a cabinet. If you open a cabinet to a normal policeman, you're breaking the law, and so are they. They have to have a firearms license.
Yep. Well, see here when they do inspections on what you have, they don't.
Steve,
they don't.
Can you just touch top of your head, Steve, for me? Touch top of your head.
They
Thank you, buddy.
They use the ATF here.
What's the ATF armed?
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Okay, right, yeah. So it's firearms. They've got it. Yeah, I had it once when I had my guns seized over a technicality of license, and they had to seize the guns. And the policeman turned up to seize them, and I said, "Let me see your firearms license." And he said, "I haven't got one." So, well, you best go and find someone who has them, pal, because you ain't touching my cabinet.
Yeah. Well,
and he tried to tell me what he could.
Yeah.
My granddad had a Lee Enfield in his bedroom. I tell you some of the stories I've heard over the years of old boys having guns just under their bed it's not uncommon.
No.
Be back in a bit, Mick. Right?
Yeah, okay, bud, no worries. So just very quickly, in case anyone is interested, I do have some calendars which have been made up, which are 6 UK YouTubers for Christmas. They were due to be given away, but these were lost in post. If anyone wants a calendar off of me, they star Martin Butler, Retro Restore Channel, Chris Reardon, myself, Bodgett and Leggett, Travel Trolls, and Roy's a Boy. They're novelty calendars, a little bit of a male suggestive nudity, perhaps in some of them, and they're up for sale. If you want one, just my email address is down below. Feel free to email me, and we can have a chat, and then we'll sort that out. But all I'm asking for is a donation to the charity that supports my son. If anyone wants a calendar, just email me on the email address below.
Yeah, sorry it took so long. I've been having fun with the troll.
Oh, have you? You've been troll hunting?
Yeah, do you know the certain person that you were on about?
Merv?
No, the troll.
Yeah, Merv.
Oh, I'm on about another one then.
Oh, no, Vernon.
Yeah, he's actually doing a live now.
Oh, is he?
And the stuff that is coming out of his mouth was absolutely disgusting.
Oh, he's vile. Oh, he's vile, mate. I have no fear. He's
absolutely. I thought I was bad.
No, he's shocking. He's shocking. What hardware store chain? What hardware store chain was it that closed its doors? Hardware store chain.
Dick Smith's.
Who?
Dick Smith's.
Jake Smith's. I never heard of that.
No, Dick. It was in New Zealand. There was a hardware store. I'm sure that's what Matt Keeley's talking about. There was a store called Dick Smith.
I carry insurance for my guns. If change any gun laws, they cover 10,000 legal fees. Yeah, I used to be a member of. I am still a member of the National Gamekeepers Organisation, who covered me for £10 million of legal liability costs. No, you weren't barred, found it buried at all. You're not blocked on any of mine. It showed up on my YouTube chat, but it doesn't go. It doesn't go the colour. It normally does on YouTube as it does on the StreamYard. I'm running my StreamYard chat as I'm watching, so I'm about 4 seconds in front of you, but it doesn't highlight. So no, you weren't missed. Nissan has gone down since they got into bed with Renault. Yeah, I can believe that.
Well, Mick, I don't mean to jump in. I'll jump in and say bye to everybody because I got to run, go do some things.
Oh, cool. No, and it's lovely having you up, mate. Lovely having you chat. See you later on, honey. Look after yourself.
All right.
Yeah,
later, Nick. We'll see you later, Nick.
Yeah.
Later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I'll bung the old link down again. I just want to catch up with this chat if I can, please, people. I don't want to miss people out because they've taken the time to show up. Who we got here? Buy Toyota Land Cruiser. They're nice, but you don't get a lot of them over here, and they're big. And over in the UK, especially like the big horn cruisers and what have you, they're expensive. I like the Isuzu. They sent his truck to Spain for repairs as courtesy. Yeah, I have seen one recently. Actually, has had the chassis snapped on it. I agree with that, Kiwi. We've got someone new in the house, I think, as well. Oh my Lord, that's just jumped up. This chat is really weird. It says I've got no one, and then all of a sudden I've got loads. So I've got to go back up to the top now. I don't know why this chat's doing it on here. Oh my Lord, I've missed loads. Drew's in. How you doing? First time here. Nice to see you. Mad Kiwi still rocking and rolling in the chat. Ramsmo is here. Smash a thumbs up, please, people. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you very much, Ramsmo. Lots of people saying hello. What's up, fellas? How you doing, Patties? Nice to see you, buddy boy. Hope you're doing well. I have moved my live stream, Patties, to the UK evening time, about 6 o'clock to about 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere in there. And so it should cater better for you American and Canadian guys as well. So hopefully you'll benefit from being on the stream as well, which should be cool. Probably had high heels on. Not sure what that's about. I'll leave that on B. Funny story. I had a FL10 and pulled by a Welsh copper. He was looking at me with the eye. He must have been about 7 foot. Yeah, we generally are in Wales. Burnt boxes, TVs, gardens advertised. Laura Lee's in the house. How you doing? Nice to see you. You did it.
Oh, hello, Laura Lee.
Congratulations, Laura. Well done, honey. I knew it wouldn't take you long. Congratulations. I'm absolutely chuffed for you. Well done. Good girl. I knew you would. Thanks, Mick, for clarification. I'm so happily informed police staff next time, but no coffee here until the real officer turns up. Yeah, they're not allowed. It's no different, Matt, to it's no different to your wife if you know, or your partner. If you said, "I'm going shooting today, can you get my guns out for me?" I'll pull past and just throw them in. You can't do it, can you? You know, you can't just have your friend turn up and get into your cabinet. You can't do it. So a policeman with no firearms license is not allowed to handle a gun. You have to have a gun to handle a license. That's why we live under the 72-hour rule or the 48-hour rule. And I've got Mad Kiwi trying to come on up. Oh, he's very blurry. Are you there, Mad? I can just about make you out. I don't know if you got fog down your way. Can you just touch top of your head for me? Lovely. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we got a rule over here on our licenses that say you can transfer a gun to another location. I think it's 24 hours.
Hello.
Hello, buddy. And I think if that gun is there for any more than 24 hours, then you have to notify the police that the gun has changed location. So Laura Lee, she got monetized today. I can't believe it. That's fantastic news, Laura. So hopefully you can start earning a few bucks out of that now. I'll just catch up with the chat as we're going through because my StreamYard chat is very, very slow, and it just keeps jumping. 303 Enfield used for culling pigs. That'd do it. 303 will definitely do it. Vernon, let's get him on. Let's get him on. It was home base apparently went belly up. Was that home base you're on about, Maggie?
Yeah, I'm thinking. It went belly up when I was in Wales back in 2008.
It might have been home base. Before that, it was DIY Focus was before that.
Yeah.
Hiya, how you doing in the UK? And literally, this is how far back I am on the chat. It's ridiculous.
Good grief.
I know look, I'm right to the end of my chat now, and I touch it, and boom, up it goes. So I'm gonna start them away. 72 hours. Okay, yeah, I think it is 72 hours.
Have you got two screens there, Mick?
Say again.
Have you got two screens, or are you just using the one?
I've got one screen. I might nip over to my YouTube chat. It seems to be better.
Yeah. It generally is, and you keep up live on YouTube, whereas StreamYard's about a 30-second delay or something stupid.
The problem is if I do that, if I shrink you guys down,
get yourself a bloody cheap 14-inch flat screen monitor and have it on a bloody hinge on the wall, and you can just pull it up.
Yeah, I could do.
Not that there's much space on your wall at the moment.
Yeah, I can figure something out. It was what I was thinking of doing. Yeah, the Isuzus are good, especially the 3-litre one over here.
Yeah, D-Max, fantastic.
Where is Sparky? He went off to go and sort his missus out. Went to poach an egg. Focus DIY. All right, Mick. Yeah, how you doing, Ethan? Nice to see you, buddy boy. Right, I'm up to date. 42 in the chat. If you give me a thumbs up, people, that'd be really, really good. just to keep the channel running, and I will keep mentioning it again. I have got some YouTube calendars from 6 of the UK YouTubers over here. Some are big channels like Retro Restore, and then you've got smaller channels like myself, Roy, Bodgett and Leggett, and Travel Trolls. And
Bodgett and Leggett.
Yeah, Bodgett and Leggett. He's an Irish mechanic. He's got some good videos. Go and check him out. He's a cool bloke.
Yeah.
These are up for sale. I've got probably about 12 left now because I've got a load more sent. They turned up in the post. If anyone wants one, I want a donation to my charity that supports my child, Riley Boy, who's got a rare syndrome, as you know. Give me an email down below, and we'll work something out, and I can post them off to you once you've done a donation. So it's all.
How much would you generally sell them for?
A donation to my son's charity. A donation. It's up to you.
Okay.
Literally. They're averaging between £10 to, I've sold one for, I think it was $49. I think one of them went for. So it's a donation. I'm not making a penny out of it. I don't want super chats because super chat, I got Google take 30% out of the super chat, and that 30% can go into the charity. So if you just email me down below where it's buzzing across there, email me up, and we can have a chat about it. And once you make your donation, I'll send one out. But they are quite good. I appear in it twice. I got June and October, which is summer and Halloween. So feel free.
What were you wearing, Mick?
It was summer.
Okay, next to nothing.
Oh. It was hotter than that.
Are they
what are you doing?
Are they the sort of calendars? Carol.
Say again.
Do you know on the summer one were you doing your impression of Schmeedle?
No, I can give you a little sneaky peek if you like.
No thanks. I'm eating at the moment.
Don't worry, but let me just find June for you. Oh, that's a good one. So here's June, and this is me. This is me in my shed. I can get some of that going on.
Oh,
lower it. Go down.
It's a
so feel free.
It's a girlies.
They're all for. It's modest. It's it's tasteful. It's not nothing caught in a vice. Put it that way.
Nothing crass.
So feel free. Email me down below if you want one.
So
Mick, what are you wearing in the October month? Crypto to find out.
Yeah.
Email me up and make a donation.
Mick,
that's what you got to do.
Wearing a lime green mankini.
On backwards.
You never know. Could be wearing a red dress.
You got to email me. I have done the same people well worth every penny. There you go. So Matt Stubbington, he actually made a donation just today or yesterday, I think. His has been posted. You should have got yours by now, Matt. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Yours is on its way. It's very simple, quick to do, and literally every penny goes to helping support children, just like my Riley boy who's got Smith-McGuinness syndrome, which is a really rare mega syndrome. And as you all know, Riley is the way he is. And this charity in the UK supports families with children and young adults or adults with the same syndrome. So feel free. How's the hey Nick? How's the strip club?
I didn't go, Bruce. I was in the A&E with me mate.
All right.
Oh.
He had a little accident.
He broke his leg, didn't he?
Yeah, I crashed into him.
Was it like one of these motorised circuit places? I thought it was just like you're mucking about at home or something.
No, it was a proper go-karting.
Lord. Riley is a top lad. He is Pete. Yeah, I know you're very close to Riley boy. Yeah, Riley boy is a top lad, and that's why I've had to move the stream because Riley boy wasn't coping with the streams during 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He was getting overstimulated and it was causing issues. So that's why I've now moved it till later on in the evening because he's in bed and he's not running up and down the garden and whack his mum upside the ear hole and stuff like that. So it's worked out better. It's worked out much better for all parties, which is good. I'm just making sure my super chat, my chat is running because my StreamYard chat has finally stopped. Oh no, it hasn't. No, it's okay. Good. Kiwi, you're either really badly out of focus or something's going on with your camera. What's going on with it?
I've got my webcam, this one here, which is good, and I've just put paper over the other one, which is on the laptop. So I don't know which one you're seeing.
I've got at the moment. I'm seeing. Oh, hello, I'm there. At the moment, I'm seeing just a blank image. Let me come back to. Let's come back. Yeah, all I've got is that's it. Yeah, you're back now. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go.
Now he's gone again.
Yeah, I can't see nothing. Gone again.
Oh, I can see me at StreamYard on my good webcam. I think StreamYard's picked up my buddy laptop one, which has been glued and it's all fuzzy and nasty, and
that's what I'm seeing.
Well, that's a pretty good picture of me.
Yeah, very good picture. Keep it like that.
Chat, can you see this ugly mug?
All I've got is a blank screen. That's all I've got.
There you go. I've pulled it to one side. It's got both cameras going.
That's better.
No, it's not.
That's it. Nick did Raphael go? Apparently, did Raphael go?
No, Raphael's from Denmark.
All right, there you go. Yeah, that'd be a no then. Links in the chat if anyone else wants it. Feel free to come on up. I'll be going for about another half hour, 35 minutes, somewhere in there. How are we doing on the thumbs up, people? If you haven't yet given the thumbs up on the channel, that'd be much appreciated if you could. It helps towards the growth of my channel.
Thumbs up at the moment is 78, Mick.
78 thumbs up. That'd be cool. If you get a few more thumbs up, if you haven't yet done it, that's not bad. 70, it's not bad for me. If you're on iPhone, you can click the cross and thumbs up. Or if not, do it on your PC and just give it a thumbs up. That'd be cool. I generally on the stream that I've been doing with Roy, I've been generally getting around about 40s to 50s in the house, and about 40 on the like, which is not bad. But since I've moved over to this one, this later stream, I've had 70 in the house tonight, which is quite cool. Not really had that many in here before. 80 in the thumbs up, that's cool. It'd be nice to get to 100 if I can. I would appreciate if I can get to 100, but if it's not achievable, it's not achievable. Thumbs up, that's cool. It'd be nice to get to 100 if I can. Oh, yeah, that's me. Yeah, it'd be nice to get up to around about 100. That'd be cool. So the link is there, people. Feel free to come on up. So last sort of half hour of the stream. If anyone wants to come on up, feel free. Hit the old link. Don't be shy. Come on by.
I'm going to refresh my page, Mick, so if I bugger off and come back again, it might be different.
Yeah, cool. No worries. So how you doing, Stephanie? You all right, mate? What have you been up to?
Me, nothing much.
Oh,
as good as that. I've been wanting to get out and do some more videos for my channel.
Okay.
But mainly what I do is just walk around the neighborhood and do just videos like walking to the shops or going through the countryside without any editing. That's sort of just raw sort of coverage. And then I actually do it for my friends. I do it for my friends in New Zealand so they can get a general idea of what the area is like of where I live.
So just like a bit of a travel vlog in a way, just vlogging.
Well, yes, sort of travel, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Is that working out all right for you?
Yes, it has done. I mean, people have liked the idea of me showing what the back garden looks like, or going outside and watching the birds in the trees. I've even done a few videos of my cat in a box. I've done a couple of food. Yeah, well, I got a brand new Hoover the other day. And the box that Hoover came in, my cat seems to like it.
Yeah, funny enough, my old mother-in-law up in the house, she's got a cat. I buried the other one the other week. But she got a cat, and Bat was out in the conservatory just on a rag, and it didn't like it. I got a cardboard box and cut a hole on the top of it, and it's lived in there ever since. It's good as gold.
Yeah, well, since I've had this box here, I've hardly ever seen a cat. It's like she comes in and goes straight to the box, you know, doesn't bother about saying hello to me, just goes in the box and that's it.
That's because cats are unfaithful. I'm not a cat person. Never have been. I've always had hunting dogs, working dogs, and they're one man and his dog. I had 3 spaniels, and they were tuned into me something wicked, and they hated everybody else. They wouldn't even entertain anybody, especially because I lived in a kennel in the back garden. No one used to give them cuddles because they used to smell because they'd been out. They just live outside. And they were lovely, but yeah, next door neighbour's cat. My mother-in-law's cat's her next door neighbour. She lives next door in the annex. The cat hisses at me if I go into her part of the annex to use a toilet. The cat will hiss at me. It's funny because it doesn't hiss at me when she's not in the house when it wants feeding. So it generally doesn't get fed when I'm in the house on my own. I wait till Mum gets in because I'm not going to feed something that hisses at me.
Yeah,
but they are deceitful, aren't they, cats? Don't you think?
All right, I'll catch you later, Mick. I'm going to have some fun with the troll.
Right, mate. No worries, Nick. Cheers, popping up, buddy.
Okay, bud.
All right, mate. Catch it all later.
Yeah, take it easy.
Adios.
Okay.
So, what made you move from Auckland to the UK?
Well, there were many reasons, but I'll just stick with that. My sister lives here in the UK, and my parents were originally from Southend.
Right.
And I've sort of been backwards and forwards from New Zealand to the UK. And my sister, at one point in time, said to me, you know, I was on my own and I had a really good job in New Zealand, but because I had family here, I decided that I'd best move and be closer to family.
Yeah.
I did have a partner, but we split up 2 years ago. So that was one of the other reasons why I moved here.
Yeah.
But we split up, so it left me sort of a bit lost. But as I said, fortunate I've got family here, so I wasn't down and out.
No, we left England because the UK rules and that changed so much, and the cost of living was starting to go through the roof. So our 2-bed house in the UK we sold and bought 25 acres over here. So
yeah, I hear that. The price of housing at the moment is absolutely beyond the joke.
Yeah.
It was like that when I left New Zealand. It was probably 2015. I was told that the house that I bought has doubled up in price, and everything else seems to have gone up.
Yeah.
And I thought perhaps it's just as well I left, because everything like bus fares have gone up, the price of food's gone up, which is not really unusual. But
if you owned a house in Auckland from 2015 to now, you would have doubled your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, without a doubt. I paid on mine. I bought mine just after the market crashed, and I bought mine just as it started to come back up again.
Yeah.
And I bought mine for 200,000, which is a 4-bed property with probably about, I'd say at best, 1/4 of an acre of back garden.
That's a good bit of land.
It's not a bad bit of land. It's not massive. It might be a bit less than that, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it's now worth about 300,000 now. So I've made money on it, but for the area that I live in, it's never going to make big money.
No.
But I think you're right. I'm looking to retire in Ireland when I finally pack up. I'm going over to Ireland. Only because 2 reasons. Property is cheap out there, and you can get for the money. Like you say, I can sell this place, buy a decent property out there for what I need, and also there's plenty of grass, so the mower work will be flying through the roof as well. Ethan wants to know, you working on part 2 of the mower? Well, you're behind. Part 2 of the mower is already done. It's already been painted, finished, and what have you, top side and underneath. So yeah, part 2 has been done. It's just in raw state. I've got to edit it up yet. So I'm working now on part 3. Don't forget, when I release a video, chances are when I release a video, I'm already working on my next video to keep it running. So yeah, I'm working on that at the moment, and then next would be my Haterette, which I don't know if you were in earlier on, Ethan, but I picked up a Haterette for a whopping £8 off of eBay. The bloke apparently, he said, he texted me to say actually it shouldn't have been £8, it should have been 80. To which I replied, oh well. And if I can get this picture up, this is an old 1960s lawnmower. Yeah, 1960s lawnmower. It's a rough cut mower, and it's got the quad blades on it, which is the 4-pronged blades underneath.
Yeah, that mower there possibly could have had an old Iron Horse 2-stroke on it once upon a time.
I think it had an old L-shaped 3.5 Classic. That's what they tend to come with. So someone's already had the engine off and put a Quantum on it. But for me, it's not the right engine, but it may sell better having a newer Briggs and Stratton engine on it. So we should see. So I don't know whether to put that on the bench next, or if not, I'm going to put this one on the bench next, which is the green one in the background. That's a Hater 48 Musfit with a 4-horsepower Honda on it. That one I picked up for a £5. And that should make good money when it sells. So that should make really, really strong money. Ramsmo, I totally agree with you. I gave 24,000 for my house in 2003, 3-bedroom end terrace. Yeah. Whereabouts was that, Jace? In the country? Things of house prices, yours goes up, so there's one who wants to buy it. Exactly that. Yeah. The only way you ever make money in this game is when the market crashes and they say the fat cats get fatter. That's the only way about it. You know, I know when the market crashed last time over here, my old landlord, I think he picked up about eight properties. Oh, someone's got a squeaky wheel.
Oh, that's Rocky the Australian. He's just there.
What is it?
Cockatiel.
Oh, cockatiel.
Oh. My wife just she was on the sauce last night. We had an impromptu bit of a party at a pub that's closed down, and now it's a house. Yeah. And the curtains weren't pulled after midnight, and we were still partying. We had no visitors, and it's quite cool. So we're on the sauce last night, and I was sober driver. So anyway,
okay. Yeah, buy low, sell high. I mean, there was a family across the road from me. They bought a house across the road. They were in there 6 months, bought it and sold it, and they reckon they've done that 4 times in a year already. They've got 3 or 4 kids, and they just keep buying and selling, even if they make 10 grand out of it, and just move up the ladder, I suppose. But I can't be doing with that. I want to set my roots down. You know what I mean? This house for me is perfect because it's got the annex. It was bought intentionally because Riley Boy will be with me until the day either I die or he goes into adult assisted living. So the idea was, because it got a 1-bedroom annex with a separate washing facility area, he will be able to, when mother-in-law passes on, which is going to happen, we know that, and that's why we built the house. Got the house. Riley will be able to move into the annex when he's older, and have his own bedroom. So it's a bed sit effectively, bed, TV, wardrobe, and what have you, and then a ensuite shower room, toilet, bathroom, what have you, and then a shared kitchen. So he'll always eat with us, but he'll have his own space as he gets older. But that's why we bought it. But
have you got a rear entrance to your property, Mick?
Yes, mate. Yeah, not. Unfortunately, that's the only one thing that lets my property down. Is I've got a driveway, I've got a big garden, an annex, but when they built the annex, they just weren't quite cute enough with it. They could have put the annex in an L shape, would have been better.
Yeah.
So now they've cornered. The widest gap I've got is probably about 3.5 feet.
Wide enough for a ride-on lawnmower.
No. It might be less than that, and that is the main reason why I don't do them. Is because I can get the mower through, but I'd have to take the deck off to get the mower in.
Yeah.
Which would be a bit of a ball's ache. So, especially as all my tools are down here, and I've
Yeah.
got to walk all the way to the garden with my trolley to take it off. So for that reason, I don't do it. And also, ride on mowers. As you know,
Don't need them.
we don't need
Don't
them.
need them.
These newer builds that they're putting out, they got a garden like a postage stamp. In fact, I had a bloke. Yes, yes. Sorry, Mick. Scene part 2, part 3. I mean, keyboard error. Part 3, I'm working on. This way, yeah. I had a bloke turn up this summer. Nice fella, and he had a Honda 553 Pro lawn fly. Big 21, 22-inch deck, 6-speed gears. Wasn't electric start. All singing, all dancing mower. It was lovely. However, it was the start of the season, and he's a professional grass cutter. Start of the season, and the mower wouldn't start, and it had a height adjustment issue, which he didn't tell me about. However, I replaced the height adjustment bit, which cost me about 40 quid for the part, which is a bit of a nail in the coffin. Anyway, he said the only reason he's selling it is one, he can't fire it; it won't start. And 2, he cannot physically get it down the side alleyways of houses on the new builds to cut lawns. So he traded it in against a Mountfield 470, which has got a 19-inch cut. And he said, "How much would he give me for my Honda?" And I said, "Mate, your Honda's not even running. I'll give you a £5 for it, you know." And he was like, "No, it's a Pro Series mower." I said, "Well, it may be a Pro Series mower, but unless you've got a pair of scissors, mate, you ain't cutting nothing." So I was a bit harsh with him. In the end, I said, "I'll tell you what, let's just do a straight swap. I'll give you a mower, you give me a mower. You can go and cut grass now. You can go and earn your money." And he was happy with that. So that's what we did. So the mower itself, I pulled it 3 or 4 times, nothing. Then I bent down and then turned the fuel tap on and pulled it again, and it started. And that's all it was.
And he's a professional.
Yeah. So I was quite pleased in the end that I had to buy the height adjustment for it, because it cost me 40 quid, but I had a perfectly working 5.5, 6 horsepower Honda, and good as gold. And it sold for good money. It wasn't as strong money as I would like, but again, it's the wrong market. People don't want the big mowers unless you're a professional cutter who doesn't cut brand new builds. Because if you cut brand new builds. In fact, one of my mates, he's a professional cutter. He bought off of me a Honda HRX 476, and then he bought off of me a Honda Izzy, which is in rough condition. Literally, he keeps it in someone's back garden because he's chucked it over the fence, keeps it in their shed to cut their grass because he can't get his big Honda down there, so he leaves it there. I moved in with a bird who had a council house for 30 years. She had 77% discount, and we got for 20k cash. Yeah, lovely. That'd be nice.
Oh, I was going to say, too, makers, those rechargeable 36-volt mowers that they get now.
Yeah, I looked
they're getting
today.
Yeah, they're getting sort of quite popular over here too. But thing is, where I live, if I didn't have my ride-on mower, I'd be out there with a push mower for about 5 hours, 6 hours, probably.
Oh, crikey.
I got the choice of looking at 2 electric mowers in July, in January actually. I don't think they had the batteries for them, but I'm always dubious over electric. Always dubious because the motors they tend to put in them are the same motors they put in the high-end mowers and the cheap ones, and generally the motors are stuck. Crypto, what is it your son has, Mick, if you don't mind me asking? As I know, it's hard. My son has autism and he has it bad. He will live with us as long as he can. He's 16. Okay, so Riley boy has Smith-Magenis syndrome, which is a deletion of chromosome 17, which manifests into self-injurious behaviour. So he self-harms. He also harms other people. He'll spit, kick, slap, bite everybody else around him. And he also has a reverse circadian rhythm, which means his body clock is flipped. So he sleeps during the day and not at night is the gist of it. So with the help of medication, which I give him at 10 o'clock, so that's why I'll be off before 10. With the help of meds, we give him 3 milligrams of melatonin, and that helps him sleep through till about 2:30 in the morning. But Riley Boy starts his day every day at 2:30 every morning. And that's when I start my day.
You ever thought of moving to New Zealand and then his body clock will be spot on?
Trust me, it's been tried and tested and don't work. What it is because the body clock is flipped. It's not a time zone thing. It is literally the sun. When you go to bed and lay your head on the pillow, turn your lights off. As soon as your head hits that pillow, you shut your eyes. Your brain starts to produce melatonin. Okay, it gets to a certain level, and your brain slows right down, and you fall asleep. That's what happens. And then you burn that off. Your body still produces it up to around about midnight, and then when your brain is full of it, it stops producing. And then you burn that off over the small hours of the morning, and at 5:30, 6 o'clock, you've used it all up, and you wake up. So that's how we work. Riley Boy produces melatonin during the day. So it's not daylight; it's just during the day between the hours of 11 and 2 is what they call peak melatonin time. So that's when he should be asleep. Hence why he gets knocky, because you know it's like when you're tired. And then at 2:30 in the morning, you can quite happily hear him singing along to Peppa Pig and what have you at full voice at 2:30, and he's up and about. So, he's got Smith McGuinness. If you look up crypto, if you look up Smith McGuinness Syndrome UK Foundation, you'll find the website, and there's lots of stuff on there. And I will say that there's a very high percentage of autistic children have been misdiagnosed with autism instead of Smith McGuinness. So if you're at all concerned, if he displays any of those symptoms that I've just described to you, also he has a hug, which is when he puts his hand in his mouth like that. It's an involuntary movement. He can't help it, or they squeeze themselves. The best way to find out is ask for a genetic test, and they will test his genetics, and that will give you the answer. So look into that. Yeah, Smith McGuinness Syndrome UK Foundation. That's who I work for a charity. But I'm not worried about talking about my son and his needs, because it needs the awareness spread.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd never heard of Smith McGuinness until I met you, Mick, and there we go.
Trust me, I never heard of it until he got diagnosed.
Yeah.
and the weird and wonderful thing is, I went to a church one day. I think it was my niece's first Holy Communion. We went along, and me and my wife were there. Riley was tiny, and there's a young lad there about 19, and he was displaying all the symptoms of Smith McGuinness. And Sue said, "Go and ask the old parents." I said, "Go and ask them. I'm not asking them." 6 months later, I get a phone call from my chairperson in Scotland to say, "Do you live near Barnum?" which is the next town over. I said, "Yeah, local." Just had a diagnosis come through of a 19-year-old boy been misdiagnosed with autism. He's actually got Smith McGuinness.
Right.
So Sue spotted him in the church, and lo and behold, 19 years he'd been diagnosed with autism, and actually he's missing part of the chromosome 17.
Oh.
Yeah, Smith McGuinness syndrome there's only about, we reckon, or we know of, about 240 members in the UK and about 800 members in the world that we have registered, that we know of. But they're cropping up in New Zealand and in Australia like you would not believe. I don't know if they've changed the way in which they test for stuff now. I don't know what's going on over there, but at the moment we're getting 2 or 3 a month coming through. There's not a lot of charities, as you can imagine, for them. Super chat star jumps for Snobby. What that's about. I'll push up for 6 puppy. I know what you boys are on about. You're wicked boys, you lot. So Smith McGuinness syndrome has only been going since 1992, and the first case of Smith McGuinness syndrome was found in 1986. So it's not very old at all. But we are certainly Mix a trustee. Yeah, if you go onto that website, the SMS UK Foundation, and go to a box where it says Meet the Trustees, you'll see my ugly mug in there. Yeah, I'm actually a volunteer. We're all volunteer trustees with a charity, and we work very hard every night to support families with it. And I've currently got on the books at the moment. I've currently got about 20 cases of disability living allowance, 4 or 5 cases of blue badge assistance, and I've probably got about 15 cases of other stuff, educational, police issues, and what have you, where we help families all over the UK and also all over the world, because people are getting diagnosed and they punch it into Google and we're the first to come up. So they always come to us anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like my son, but he has a form of dwarfism as well. Okay. He is 6, but the size of a 3-year-old. Well, Riley Boy, funny you should say that. Riley Boy, because of his syndrome, they actually have a short stature as well. So Riley Boy would always be short as well. So something to think about. He may have a dwarfism, but without having the genetic testing, you won't ever know. You got to have the genetic testing. TLT, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy boy. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, that's the website there, I think. No, but I don't think that is a website. Let me double check that website for you. Where'd that website go? You can't run that link. Let me run the link for you, and I'll get it for you. 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves.
I have a friend that suffers from narcolepsy.
Yeah.
And I never knew anything about it until I found out what my friend had, and it's really quite well, that's a worry to have. You fall asleep and you don't wake up. He sleeps quite a lot.
Definitely. Let me get that.
And he has unfortunate seizures now and again, which are
they're very common in. My lord, Dirt Rider has just donated $100 for the SMS charity. You are outrageous. Oh. Absolutely outrageous, Mike.
That's fantastic.
It's awesome.
I'm just trying to find out how many cases are in New Zealand.
I can tell you. I'll tell you later on. I've actually got a map which tells us you won't find the actual numbers. I've actually got a Google map which actually says the numbers.
Yeah.
So Dirt Rider there, what a fantastic bloke he is. And Dirt Rider, for those that don't know, he's actually off sick. He's on. Yeah. He's not a well man, as some of you may know, and he's just donated $100 to the SMS Foundation. How cool is that? You are unbelievable. So you'll definitely be getting your package, Mikey boy. Yeah, Riley boy is a top lad. So there is the link somewhere. I did put it in the chat. I don't know whereabouts it is now. There is there. Yeah, there's the link. Feel free to tap on that one, and that takes you to the UK version. And what I can do very quickly is I can just double check. If I go to, we've got a special group on Facebook which is closed that no one knows about. Because we have to protect its members, as you can imagine. There's lots of people that need our help, and because of some of the way that the kids are, some of the stuff is quite graphic, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I'd understand it.
That's why we support people, because they some people go through hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if my nephew has been misdiagnosed. He's 22 now, and he's got autism and Asperger's, is it? That's what he's been diagnosed with. He's got Crohn's. He's just in a bad way, but he's just about died when he was a baby, and with the right eating and diet and everything, he's made it to 22, and he's still sort of half living independently now. but
yeah,
he can fly off the handle like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Not a small fella either, so maybe they are correct because he's as tall as I am and I'm 6'2".
I can quite believe it. Right, let's have a look. I'll tell you how many cases there are in New Zealand straight off the bat.
Well, I've got a friend that's got Crohn's, Seinsfeld syndrome, and
but
he was a very active sort of person, always out there. It was more like a attention seeking, but we all understood, that's how he was. But the sad thing was, he loved going out in his car and all that until he had something go wrong with his spine. He had an operation, and now he's paralyzed.
There's the cases of known SMS in New Zealand.
So 280.
There's 7.
There's quite a few in Auckland.
Right.
There's seven in New Zealand that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a Google map, but every time someone registers with us, we ask the permission and we put them on the map. And Japan is chucking loads out at the moment. You would not believe how many Japan's thrown out.
Or how many in China and India then?
Not many.
Really?
4 in Turkey that I know of.
So do you think it's all down to modern living and the fast food diet and...
Well, I mean, what happens is mummy and daddy make a baby, right?
Yeah.
I've got chromosome 17 complete. So has Sue. We both got it. We had Riley Boy, and when Riley Boy was manufactured, he copied half of Sue, half of me, put together. That's Riley. In that joining process, a micro part of Riley 5.4 in his chromosome 17 was not copied. That's all it is. And because that micro deletion has taken place where it wasn't copied over fully, that's what produces SMS.
Jeez, I know a lot of the stem cell procedures helped a lot of people. Some people disagree with it, some people agree with it, rah-de-rah-de-rah. But the stem cell procedure build stuff again, if you know what I mean. Okay,
so I got asked
because I'm a virgin, mate. I know nothing about it. I'm just it's like fixing and repairing lawnmowers. Some person might miss something, and then someone out of the blue might come up with something and say, "Yeah, that's exactly what it is."
Okay. I get that. I was asked a question about 2 years ago. If there was one thing I could change about Riley, what would it be? And bearing in mind, I've got self-interest behaviour.
Yeah,
I've got self-interest behaviour. I've got reverse circadian, and the sleep is the killer.
Yeah,
the self-harming. When you harden to your child head-butting floors and walls, when you get over that, it's manageable. The sleep is the issue. You imagine having a newborn baby for the rest of your life. That's what it's like.
But what would you change?
If there was one thing I could change, it would be the sleep.
Right.
I would give my left arm to have a full 8 hours sleep. I would give my left arm for that. And even if we had respite care where Riley went away for a weekend, which we're looking into, still ain't going to sleep because are we looking after Riley? Is he being cared for? So it's not going to happen. So even if I could change it, it ain't going to make me sleep no better. So in realistic, in real terms, what one thing would I change? Not a goddamn thing.
No.
Because Riley was given to us, to me and Sue, as a gift to say this one needs a bit more love than normal, and you're the right people to do it. Me and Sue are a strong couple, and we feed off of each other and we fight off of each other, and we get through each day. But I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Not a goddamn thing. The only thing I would change, I suppose, is the way that our country looks after children with disabilities and adults. That's one thing I would change if I could. But that's a lot of work.
But that's the same with all governments, mate. Like they can't even look after the homeless people that are 100%, and they might be homeless through no fault of their own. But even in New Zealand, the medical system here is free like yourself in England, but the government's throwing money at the wrong places. Like they're not throwing the money at the schools like they used to. They're not throwing the money at the medical profession like they used to. It's all greed, and they spend, and they're clocking up and spending money that they haven't got. And
well, we did a survey.
That would be typical of New Zealand.
It's the same in every country, right?
Yeah.
We did a survey a little while ago of how many carers there are just within our community, our SMS community. And there was over 95% of our mums, dads, grannies, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles caring for these kids, because the local authorities, get this, there's a charity in the UK that deal with complex needs, which is a syndrome or an illness. Your YouTube's running, Jim, mate. Turn your YouTube off, buddy. We've got a lot of feedback, Jim.
Feedback?
Yeah, loads.
Whoops.
That's a Starship sounds. You don't like that?
YouTube. Mute it.
There
we go.
Mute, yeah.
He forgot. No, he didn't.
That's a shuttlecraft sound effects.
That's it. So there's actually a charity that actually deal with complex needs, and they've actually now said, they've come back to us and said, your syndrome is too complex. We cannot deal with it.
How complex does it have to be?
Yeah, you guys are the professionals. We need to take advice from you. So now we're setting up training programs, teaching programs. We're working with this charity, who are massive. They're way bigger than ours.
Yeah.
And we've even got charities like the NSPCC contacting us for advice with regards to what they call inclusion and restraint. So in the UK, it's actually against the law to put a seatbelt on a child that has more than 2 points. So you can put the standard one on, but you can't put a 5-point harness on. It's actually against their human rights to do that. It's against their human rights. Riley has a bed, a special zip-up bed, which costs about $2.5K, which he goes in and he loves it. We zip him up so he can't get out of it. He physically can't get out of it. And it's against his human rights. I'm breaking the law doing it. But if I don't lock him up at night time, 2:30 in the morning, guess what happens? He wakes up. He's up. And he's out, and he's downstairs. He's in the fridge, and he will eat raw sausage. He'll eat raw chicken. He doesn't know the difference. He'll turn the gas on. He'll try and get out the front door, and I'm sound asleep. So for the better good, that's what we do. But it's actually against the law. So we're working with people now, and solicitors and lawyers, to try and get over that. But yeah, the complex needs have said they can't cope with it. They just can't cope with it. And we've had people, adults with the syndrome, who have been taken. I need to be careful because a lot of it is classified. Who have been taken from their parents because the parents no longer can cope, and social services take the child or the adult into care, and then have the audacity to ring us up and say, "How do we cope with this?" And our answer is, give a child back to the parents, because they were doing a better job one-on-one. If you can't do it 3-on-1, then there's something going on.
Yeah.
They haven't
got a clue. It's like the elderly in rest homes. They get worse care in the rest homes than the prisoners do in the prisons.
Yeah. Well, this is funny you mentioned that. This is something we're now just looking into, is how many SMS people is there in prison? We don't have that, but there should be a file somewhere, because we're interested to see how the prison or the services are actually coping with that. They must be in there, got to be, because don't forget, this is 1986. It was first found, so there's got to be cases of it. And how are the government dealing with that? So that's an area we've just recently start looking into.
Copyright strike.
Yeah, exactly that. Cheers for that.
Oh dear.
So yeah,
Anyway.
we're looking into that at the moment. What's going on with that? But you'll be surprised how many families there are out there that that are living this at the moment. I was contacted just yesterday or day before by a family who have said, we're done. We can't do no more. The police have been called out several times, and that they no longer can cope. And the child is now going into a service.
Yeah.
But what that service looks like, we don't yet, as of yet, know. Andrew, what's up, Mike and chat? How's it going? Not too bad, not too bad. We're doing okay. I shan't be much longer for I need to pack up because Riley boy needs to have his sleep meds, and that's my job. That's what I do.
Well, I must say we haven't bored the chat too much because we've still got 49 watching. So our little conversation is done all right.
Okay, so I'll let you into a little secret. I would say there's probably 50% to 70% of people in here that I know are either a carer or have children with additional needs.
Yeah,
and that absolutely astounded me that number exists. And I think that's half the reason they come here is because they know that Riley boy is the way he is, and you don't see many people on YouTube with additional needs doing what they do. And Riley boy showing he turns up and he buggers off and what have you, and everyone loves him. No one's apart from one person taking the piss, you know.
Can I just say, Mick, that when my wife and I were in the UK, we were foster carers, and she was a class 3 foster carer or grade 3 or whatever it is. So we fostered teenage girls from the age of 13 to 18, and they were like, that was the last stop. If they didn't comply or fuck their ideas up or whatever it was to get their head around whatever the problems they had, they were in secure unit. So
yeah,
I had fun.
I know my son, they can never answer the autism spectrum he's on. Just know that he's high. Just his mobility is low, as he can walk and understand is another thing. Okay, Crypto, feel free to email me on this email. And I can divert you over to my charity mail, because if your son has been diagnosed with autism, then under the Mobility Act, which is split into 3 categories, and I'm a bit of a whiz kid on mobility in the UK. Section 1, does the person have no arms or no legs? Category classified. Section 2 is, does the person require medication to recover after they've walked? Is category 2. And category 3 is under the Severe Mental Impairment Act of 1982, is where the brain is under a state of arrest or not formed correctly. And all autistic people have a state of arrest. So you need to reapply for your mobility, but under the SMI rule. And if you want any help with it, Crypto, email me up and I'll sort you out. Feel free. I've even got to with Riley boy. I fought Riley boy's case for 9 months and went to court and won within 15 minutes.
And if you've got a mile that needs fixing,
yeah, bring that on. And it's, so feel free. Mobility is split into 3 acts, and the biggest problem is the Department of Work and Pensions don't understand that. And get in contact with your local MP, because that really throws some weight at it. They hate that when they get a letter from the local MP up there as well. So give me an email, Crypto, and I'll if I can, I'll help you. Because if your child, he's 16 now, isn't he? Is he on PIP? Is he on if he's 16, he'd be transferred to PIP now, won't he? I think that sounds like free music from YouTube Creator Studios, so there may not be a copyright act. I have no idea. They'll soon let me know. I can always delete it out anyway. Sorry, we don't have these crazy laws in the United States. These laws should be. So in the United States, anyone with Smith-Magenis syndrome is automatically given a dual diagnosis of Smith-Magenis syndrome and autism, which makes perfect sense to me. But in the UK, no, they don't do it. When my mum was alive, she suffered with dementia during her final days of life. We had to ask her to put into put a syringe drive, and yeah, exactly that. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. I won't frown on anyone that has to do anything to secure the life of somebody else. That's what it is. That's what we have to do. I have to. I've seen my uncle. He's got that at the moment, and they just moved him into a secure unit because my auntie can't deal with him. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Can we give a thumbs up, people, for the new ones that have just come on in? That'd be very good. I think I'm sat about 85 at the minute. It'd be lovely just to get a few more if I can squeeze them out of you. I'm sitting at 85 on the up and 6 on the down. That's absolutely lovely.
Actually, I can do something special too. I'll just swap accounts.
Mike, I've learned a few new things about small engines from your videos. Many thanks. Yeah, no, well, that's what it's all about. And I learn too every day. It all depends what comes in, and I can fix. So yeah, no problem at all. What's this one here say? Horrible disease. Horrible disease. Yeah, it is. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, it is. No, they keep him on at the moment as Pip. He has to claim himself and he can't do it. No, it's not true, Crypto. When he comes to 16, you can become his parental carer, which you were, I suspect, on DLA. In Scotland, it's called guardianship, which means that he doesn't have, I'll phrase it right, he doesn't have the awareness to make life-changing decisions. So if he had to have a procedure, would he know what he was signing for or not? If he had to have medication, would he be able to sign the prescription? So you just change the way it is. You should be, if he's on disability living allowance, one of you or your partner should be his carer, and that money goes into your account, not into his. So you can change it around and do it that way through. They call it guardianship in Scotland, but it's parental care over here, and you can become his parental care, which means you manage his money, you manage his decisions for him.
And that law has been around for a long time in the UK. Yes,
it has. It's been around for a very long time. It's just knowing it, and lots of people don't know the laws. No. And I've spent about 6 years helping families all over the world getting around laws, and you'll be surprised. The worst place is actually Ireland. Ireland's laws and benefits is completely different, especially in the Republic. Already done a thumbs up call for that. No worries.
I've just done another thumbs up on another account for you, mate.
Oh, lovely. I suffer with PTSD, bipolar, and other mental illnesses, and they've poor mental health services. Yes, it's all too familiar. I am. Yeah, I was on investigation, not got back for me yet. So said keep him on DLA at the moment. Cool. If you can get the DLA overturned to high mobility, it will go in your favour. Generally with Pip is not so much diagnosis led; it's means tested. So he may have to have a assessment done. Because Pip is done on points, and if he can make his own meals, or one of the big ones they like is if he can plan and execute his own journey. So if he can get on the bus, if he can go out his front door, get on the bus, buy a ticket, go, I don't know, Tesco's, get off, do a shop, come back on the bus. If he can do that, then he won't qualify for high rate mobility. But if he can't even execute his own journey, then I would say he qualifies. I would say so, without even meeting him.
Yeah.
Based upon the spectrum. As I say, I've helped loads of people. Edward Thomas, you're not alone, mate. Everyone suffers with some form of mental illness in their life. I can assure you of that. I can assure you. If you
I suffer with.
Got that right.
With what, Ant?
I'm there now.
Yeah. What do you suffer with again, Stefan?
Depression.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon.
And the one since I've been here in the UK, I have noticed that they don't because they don't see that you are physically suffering with depression. They think that because you can walk, you can talk, you can breathe, and you can go around, then therefore you're not really eligible for a special type of benefit.
You have to.
I think that you're.
You have to link into special services which are not government-led, which are outreach services, drop-in centres, all that kind of stuff, where you meet up with people in a similar boat to you, and that's where you can pick the correct services up, because the government can't fund it. No, he can't do any of those things. Then I would say crypto, he qualifies. Seriously, I'm not joking you. Seriously.
Yeah.
6 thumbs down. That's lovely. I don't mind a thumbs down. Thumbs down just gives me watch time.
That's right. And they're only jealous anyway.
Yeah, sure they are. No, there's no help for depression. My missus is depression as well. Not all disabilities are visible. Yes. Right, people. I can pick this chat up another time, but it is meds time for my little Riley boy. And if I don't give it at 10 o'clock, I'm gonna be paying for it later on.
He suffers, you suffer, everybody suffers.
Yeah, so much appreciated this tonight. Thank you for everybody on the panel.
Thank you, Mick.
Much appreciated. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Anyone who wants one of my fantastic calendars, email me down below. You can find my email address on my About page or in my banner on my front page. If you want to donate anything towards the SMS Foundation for a calendar, feel free. Thank you very much to Mike Dirt Rider. If anyone wants to go and check Dirt Rider's channel out, please go and do so. He donated £100 to the SMS Foundation tonight, which I didn't even ask for, which is outrageous. So, Mike, I'll be sending you something in the post, mate, just to say thank you very much. Everybody, you've been fantastic, and I really appreciate your support that you show me and you show my little Riley boy. Roy's a boy. He should be live tomorrow. I haven't heard anything to say he's not. Although I haven't seen him in the chat at all tonight. So I'll take it he is. I'll just say check out his community tab or any post to see if he is going live or not. But it should be 2 o'clock, I'm guessing, if he is going live at all. But we shall see. So thank you very much, everybody. I really have appreciated it, and I love the support you showed me and my family. And I'll catch you all on the next one, which will be part 2 of this mower coming out, and then it'll be next week, Saturday, 6 o'clock ish, and we'll do it all again.
Okay.
Look after yourselves. Cheers, Jim, for coming out. I know you haven't said a lot, but the chat's been rambling, and we've had a good time. So nice to see you all. Thumbs up on the way out. Much appreciated.
It keeps on rolling.
See you later on. If you'd like to start dropping out now, I can shut the stream down. That'd be cool. See you later on, Kiwi.
See you later, mate. You have a good one.
You too, mate. Take it easy.
See you, chat. Bye.
Bye-bye.